Oh, okay. Let me run that back, guys. Thanks for coming into the Social Dig, the greatest underrated show on the World Wide Web. I am your host, Mr. Rob G. And as always, we're going to be digging into the topics that keep you talking and the talk that keeps you thinking. I said that earlier, but I was on mute apparently. So I'm so glad somebody told me. And once again, we're going to be doing this. Like I said, it's a late night call-in show. We're going to do things a little different tonight. We're going to go with the topic. There's a story that I've been looking at. We're going to go into that. Now, the stage is still open, though. The call-in line is still open. So you can call to 856-843-3444 or 856-THE-DIGG and jump right on into the conversation. Or you can click the StreamYard link and hop in on stage at any time, right? Because we'll end up talking about other things, too, I'm sure. But I definitely wanted to start it off with this story, and we will go ahead and do that momentarily. Let me go ahead and take a look at the chat here. Yeah, I was super muted, man. I hate when that happens. StreamYard does that to me, man, on purpose, I think. Because it's supposed to come off of mute when I come in, but apparently I gotta check it. So Tim Altman, thanks for coming. Maggie M10, thank you for coming in. Magneticus, thank you for coming. Jessica S, thank you for coming on over to the Social Dig, where we do what we do. We talk about some real stuff. Christine, thanks for coming to the Social Dig. Yes. Yeah, no sound. Yeah, you're mute, Rob. Yeah. No sound. They're trying to keep me muted. Anonymous Rex, thank you for coming in. They are trying to not hear what I have to say today. You know how that goes. They want to keep you silenced. Yeah, I saw that, Anonymous Rex, and we definitely have to get to that. So let's see. Area 51. Yes. Listening in, we'll be in a bit. Okay, for sure. And let's see what Anonymous Rex has for us. Yeah. Let me go ahead and make sure the line is open. I said it's open, but let me make sure. And let me make sure I have the appropriate setup for the call. Because at the moment, I don't believe that I do. Let me go ahead and get that set up. While we're doing that, let's see, Mike Jones in the building. Oh, Mike Jones, yes. Technical difficulties happen to the best of us. Yeah, man. Plus, I just did a 3-hour show, man. I'm halfway sick, which you guys remember last week we had to cut it early because I felt it coming on. It was just a little scratch, a little itch, and then that turned into a full-blown thing this week. I fought through it on Halloween when I hosted that day for Dave, and I'm getting over it now, but my voice, and your voice is the most important part when you're trying to do this type of thing, you know what I mean? So it really matters. So let me go ahead and checking the line right now, make sure it's open. Okay, yeah, we're good. All right, the line is open, and it looks like we do have messages on there. We'll at least have one good message, and we will be able to listen to that today. So yeah, it's that time of the year, you know. It's the time of the year when people get sick, and I regretted you getting it. My girl brought it home from Las Vegas. They say whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but this cold didn't stay because it came right along with her, tagged right along with her, and came home to me. And I'm a person that has to speak all the time, so yeah, that was my worst nightmare, but I'm over it. I've gotten through it. Thank you very much, everybody. I rested up this week. And yeah, so I'm gonna push through. We're gonna push through till my voice cuts out. How about that? Let's get into it. All right. So yeah, there were some things that I looked at as the music gets ready to cut out here, and I wanted to look at and talk about because I thought it was pretty interesting. You know, I kind of, as Tim says, you poke the bear with Dave, right? Because we all know Dave does not like Tom DeLonge for whatever reason. It's his prerogative. He doesn't have to like Tom DeLonge. But there was something interesting that was put out earlier. I want to say, when was this? This was put out, let's see, November 3rd. So yesterday. So there was a write-up or I'd say a pretty long statement made by Tom DeLonge. And it's the late night, so I'm going to have me unnamed beverage. To wet my whistle. Okay. So UAP James put this out on Twitter, and it was Tom DeLonge in a Newsweek story. So these are some of the things that Tom DeLonge said. And I just want to see what you guys think about it and how you feel about these opinions, because I read it and I was like, you know, that's pretty wild, actually. And that I can kind of relate to that. And, you know, and Dave Scott, I hope you're listening out there, man. Because yes, Tom DeLonge, these are statements from Tom DeLonge, right? But that doesn't mean that they're not true. And not genuine, or not from a genuine place. So Tom DeLonge in Newsweek, these are his quotes. He said, quote, "If we were to just come out and say, hey, it's all here, we don't know what kind of response is going to provoke. Are they going to do something that's horrible? I had one person tell me they wonder, are extinct civilizations evidence of those who didn't obey?" Ponder on that for a minute while I finish here. I think in the beginning, it was probably a lot of fear. You're dealing with World War II barely being over. We started having crashes. We had fighting through the war, but things started crashing, and they're finding vehicles and they're finding occupants, and they don't know what it is. They're like, where are these coming from? They probably thought it was one particular thing. And then they start you digging into people's encounters, and people are having contact, and then not all the stories are good, and people are getting hurt and things are changing. And they're looking into our mind and into our DNA, and then finding out over time, maybe these things aren't coming from other planets. These crafts seem to be doing things in the air that has to do with frequency. And then there's understanding, you know, the universe, the world around us over decades. And we go, oh my God, these things might be coming through time. I think people have to prepare for the real hard truth that some of this is really bad. What they're doing is bad, but some of this is good. And some of this will create a better situation for humanity. I think once we learn about it, we're going to learn that all of our beliefs are totally superficial and perhaps planned to keep us kind of divided. And, you know, we spoke on that with the guest earlier tonight, Brad Olson. Shout out to Brad Olson. And, you know, if you've been to this channel, you know that we talk about this as well here. So if the world comes together and accepts nature the way it is, and we learn our varying capacities, and what we're able to do as humanity and human beings, things are going to really change. And we'll come together and we'll have breakthroughs. And once we understand the universe, I think that's the real benefit. But, you know, you don't have to tell your kids that terrorists are beheading people, but you can let them know that there's bad people out there. Also, you can teach compassion. And you can also get people to come together and start to realize that we're all one. We're all transducers of our environment. We're antenna of our consciousness and so forth. We've got the Navy to admit it's real. We've got the Department of Defense to admit it's real. The Congressional Task Force, we were a big part of getting that set up. Whistleblowers came and testified live on camera under oath about the big program that we have crafted. We have biologics. But there's something else, too. I mean, the U.S. government spearheaded with all of our allies across the world to disinform the public over 70 years to make people feel like it's stupid and that it's not real. But they actually had good reasons for that. They needed time to understand it. They needed time to come up with a plan on how to deal with it. So it's partially their fault too, but partially for good reason. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the things that are here, biological AI computers, they're living organic beings that are cloned to travel around and do certain things. But I also wouldn't be surprised if some of the things that are coming here are the ones that made them. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of the things that are coming here are more like us and don't get along with the ones that made the clones. And maybe they have their own clones. Time's not linear, it's parallel. It's just our point of view where we feel we travel forward in time. But everything that can happen is happening. It's all happening right at once. And it's all separated by frequency, all different, various frequencies of the spectrum. And so you have civilizations that are towards the end of their existence that are literally side by side us. Tom DeLonge. Tom DeLonge. What do you think about that? He made some really good points there. Some stuff I really liked about that. So I did like the whole opening line here. If we were to just come out and say, hey, it's all here, we don't know what kind of response it's going to provoke. Are they going to do something that's horrible? I had one person tell me they wonder, are extinct civilizations evidence of those who didn't obey? Who even has thought of that angle? Who has even considered that angle? As we sit in ufology and we talk about different scenarios and what we think might be going on and what we think, might be the end result to what's going on here. And it makes total sense. We always were under the belief or the, seen it to be plausible that these civilizations, got to a certain level of advancement before they disappeared, that all dynasties at some point fall, and that ours probably would at some point in time in the future too, because they seem to last maybe a few, 1,000 years, if that, sometimes a lot shorter than that. So, but what if they went extinct because they didn't obey the law of the extraterrestrial? That always leads me to, what if the government has contacted these things? What if the government has actually had some sort of contact where they've sat down at a table and communicated with these things in some sort of way? Not saying that this is the case, but just what if, right? What if they sat down and had the conversation where the ETs were like, look, guys, you have to get rid of these nuclear weapons. If you guys don't get rid of them, we're going to give you time to get rid of them. But if you guys don't get rid of them by a certain point, then we're going to have to take action or just some sort of ultimatum there, right? And we can make up 1,000 different ultimatums, give them up or else this, or give them up or else that. But what if there was some, and they're like, okay, yeah, we agree, we'll do that. And then time passes and we have no, we don't really have any intention on giving them up. And actually we're we threaten to use them against other people. So when you sit and you look at that, you know, what does that? Obviously, that puts humanity in a bad situation, and it comes at the hands of the very few that would make the decision to make an agreement like that with the extraterrestrial. So when you think about that, you know, it's plausible. If you look over, you know, different periods of time, we assume that because the Egyptians and all these other different Sumerians and all these different advanced civilizations, we assume that they were advanced on a primitive level, like because they were back in time, they couldn't be technologically advanced as us. They could not have had the things that we have because it was back in time. We created these things right now. Okay, what if that's not the case, right? So we have all these things, we have all these electronics, tablets, and all sorts of things that can grab information out of the sky. And what happens if our civilization goes away or crumbles at the hands of ET or some other catastrophic event? And then 3,000 years down the line, or maybe more, you get humans rediscovering these things or doing what they consider is current technology, not knowing that we had these tablets and we had all these things in this period. You know what I mean? So obviously, I would think, you know, if they were as advanced as we are, we'd have some sort of evidence of that. I would think, you know, especially the weapons, nuclear weapons. I'm sure we'd be able to see that some way, or you know, see that they had that capability. But what if it was on a whole different level? We discovered nuclear, but what if it was their weapon was something else? You know what I mean? It's just something to get you thinking. It's somebody that's thinking outside of the box, outside of what we normally discuss and talk about as far as possible narratives or motives or directions that this could be going. And that made a lot of sense to me. Then we get into the next part of the conversation where he says, I think in the beginning, it was probably a lot of fear. You're dealing with World War II barely being over, and we know what that type of, you know, we were pretty unsophisticated at that time, technology-wise. World War II, we had only been flying, you know, since, Wright Brothers, I want to say it was in like 1903, somewhere around there. World War II ended, I want to say in 45. Yeah, I think so, 45. So we'd only been technically flying, barely flying, for about 40 years. So we weren't really anywhere on the map. So think about that. World War II just barely being over, and we start having these ET crashes all of a sudden. So just look at this as if we had never seen anything like this before, but all of a sudden we're discovering these crash craft that are just very strange. So we started having crash crafts. We had fighting through the war, but things started crashing, and then we're finding vehicles and we're finding occupants, and they don't know what it is. They're like, where are these things coming from? That would be, can you imagine that state of mind, right? Where you were clueless on the idea of what these things might be. All of a sudden we just start finding these crash craft and then these weird things, and then we're looking at it like, what the hell are these? Like, what the hell is going on? You know, first we're in a war mindset, so we're thinking war at first, obviously, I'm sure, in some sort of adversarial, you know, interaction. And then we really start looking like, wait, well, this isn't anything from here. This can't be. This is really weird. And then you start going down that rabbit hole. He said they probably thought it was one particular thing, And then they start you digging into people's encounters and people having contact, and then not all the stories are good. People are getting hurt and things are changing. So, they're looking at these things like, what the hell are these? Wow, this is crazy. Then they're talking to people that are having experiences and with these things, and some of the stories aren't good. So they're like, well, these things are here to hurt us, or whatever the story might be. But I think DeLonge's perspective on the story and the way he tells the story is pretty genuine. I don't write him off, man. I don't write DeLonge off. I think, it was obvious based on the whole, I think the WikiLeaks, right, when they were able to show all the emails, they had his name on them. Like, we know this guy was in the rooms with certain people at certain times having discussions. He's told some stories that sound pretty fantastical, like the one that I brought up on Spaced Out Radio, where he talked about the UAP that were catching, or UFOs, we'll call them that. They were catching fire to these houses in Italy. I believe it was Italy, off the coast of Italy. These houses that were on a hillside, and they were spontaneously catching on fire. In a house after house after house, they didn't know what was going on. They called in the government to figure it out, and while the government was looking into it, this is a story DeLonge tells, they observed out in the ocean, they observed these UAPs. He said it was a good number of them. So he goes out there. They send a mission to go out there. They're just going to check it out. They hop on a helicopter and fly out over in the direction where they're seeing these things at. And then when they get out there, one pops up out of the water, shoots a laser at the helicopter, damages it. I don't know if it went down. I don't recall if he said that or not. And then goes back down into the water. So just like we talked with the guest Brad Olson tonight, not to make anyone afraid of these things, right? We want them to be happy, peaceful. We want them to be like E.T. the extraterrestrial, just needing a phone home, or come here and do something, play with kids, or whatever, doing something that makes your heart warm. But we also have to be prepared for the other side of this, that maybe our government understands that these things aren't good. Maybe they've observed them doing things that aren't good. Obviously, they wouldn't tell us. First of all, they wouldn't tell us that they were extraterrestrials. They really wouldn't tell us if they were extraterrestrials that were doing bad things. You know what I mean? So, but the whole logic on, if that's the case, if they are here doing bad things, then could they have been a reason why some of our previous advanced civilizations ended up disappearing from the map? The Aztecs, there's so many different cases of civilizations that got to a certain point, and either my theory, and I wouldn't even say it's a theory, but I'll say a theory, something that I've thought about, is that some of those civilizations, if they got advanced enough, would probably be advanced enough to go off planet, maybe. If they reach that level of advancement, we don't know. But, because the thing is, you would have to explain how they just went away. How did they just completely disappear? And then that would be one theory. Okay, they got civilized enough, to advance enough to be able to leave planet. They all hopped on and they left. And then maybe they've come back at some point in time to visit. Maybe that happened. I mean, look at where we're at. We're already at a point where Even though it's not a good idea, we probably could leave off planet right now. We built a big enough ship. We could load 1 million people in there and we could send it out. Probably wouldn't survive very long, but we could technically board a craft and leave the planet at this level of civilization. And then all of a sudden the human reign is over here, right? The current reign that we're in would be over. So it's just a thought, man. And you have to, when we're figuring this out, because nobody knows the answer, you kind of have to read between the lines or just think outside the box and try to come up with theories. And I'm just applauding Tom Delonge because it appeared that that's what he did. He came with the new idea of, and just adding to the conversation. So I don't see any reason why Tom DeLonge would lie. I mean, obviously he doesn't know one way or the other. This is just his thought. But yeah, I think that's something to get the conversation going. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about it? What do you think about Tom DeLonge? What is what do you guys think about Tom DeLonge, man? Yeah, Brown Door, starting to believe that we're not that advanced. Man. 6,000-year-old flying machines. We know they had the Vimanas, in the I want to say it's Hindi, right? The Eastern Indians. We talking about 7,000 years ago. Yeah, Vimanas. That's right, Maggie. And it's just like, what happened to those civilizations? Does it make sense that they just went away like that? Could that be our destiny? Could that be what we're facing right now? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's crazy, man. I don't understand this though, Derek. I don't understand, man. Why is that? Why? Why do you think that? Why do you believe Tom DeLonge is being paid to be in the UFO community and paid to be a distraction? Like, what distraction do you mean? Like, where is he being a distraction? That's what I would like to know. Where is he being a distraction? Oh, I don't know, man. I'm gonna just eat this big ass grape while you guys talk about it. Here's the thing. Why I'm trying to understand why so many people are end up being against the threat narrative. Mr. Tim Senior says because he's the father of the threat narrative, but but we don't believe that there's a threat. There has to be. There has to be a threat. The size of these grapes, biggest damn grapes ever. Yeah, and I think they are local. Right, but then Christine, and I'm with you, right? So I don't know what to think either. Rockstar celebrity speaking doom and gloom with no evidence, just my thoughts. Okay, look at the flip side. Then you have a XYZ farmer speaking love and light with no evidence, just my thoughts. You know what I mean? It goes, yeah, grapes and beer. Grapes and beer, Miss B. Grapes and beer. And let me have another drink of the beer. Alien threats. These things came through light years of space, and I'm pretty sure that they have come across other species along the way, like in travel, because I'm sure the one species isn't the only one traveling. And do you believe that they just pass each other in space and say, "Hey, have a good day"? I mean, you would think, you would hope that's the case, but I'm pretty sure they had probably had to survive on their way out to get to where we're at. Pretty sure they had conflicts and all sorts of stuff along the way with species that aren't from where they're from. And I mean, it's probably it's so you think they got all the way here from their planet on love and light? Do you think do you okay, do you think they have weapons aboard their craft? Let me ask that. It's probably a better question. Do you think that there are weapons aboard these ET craft? Or do you think there's no weapons? They're just craft, and they're just at the risk of someone taking advantage of them? Or do you think they have weapons on these craft? Because my thought is, and it's just a thought because I haven't been on on one of these crafts to be able to say for sure, or I just I wouldn't be able to say. But I would assume, just using common sense tells me that based on their travel and based on obstacles that I'm sure they had to overcome to get here, that they probably have a way to protect themselves or defend themselves in the event something posed a threat. So if they have weapons aboard the craft, in essence, that would make them a threat whether they chose to use them or not. So even if they aren't coming here to be a threat, if they have weapons aboard their craft that can outdo anything we have, then they are a threat. Or they have the potential to be a threat. And I think that's what Lou Elizondo kept saying, right? Like, you the muddy boot prints, right? The whole muddy boot prints thing that Lou Elizondo says. Like it could be a threat if it wanted to, not necessarily saying that it's looking to be a threat. But if they have the capabilities to destroy you and they just are nice and don't want to use them against you, that still doesn't mean that they couldn't be a threat. They could definitely be a threat. So that's why just like the whole threat narrative, and that's why I don't understand why people roll with that, because if there's not a threat narrative, then you must assume that every ET craft you see is weapon free, and because they don't need weapons, because they are all about love and light, so they won't ever figure they need to use one, so they don't have weapons aboard their craft. So they come here completely unarmed. What do you think the chances of that? What do you think the chances of that is or are? Yeah, I think when it goes to the level of advanced, it's advanced. They're advanced to us, but they may not be advanced to another species of ET. Another race of ET would look at them as equals and maybe not as advanced as we look at them. We look at them and like, wow, they're so advanced. They could just zip away from a weapon and never get touched, or they could just phase into another. But that's our outlook on them. That's our outlook based on the weapons that we use in but to another ET species that may want to take advantage of that species, they may not look at them as advanced at all. They may be just as advanced as each other, so equal. One may be at a disadvantage, one may not. So chances are that these ETs are having weapons on board. I mean, it would only make sense. It would only make sense. They're not worried about us. No, they're not worried about us. They're worried about their rivals. We're not their rivals. We're not advanced enough to be their rivals. You know, we don't have anything that can touch what they have. So they're not we're not a threat to them. Therefore, they probably wouldn't use their weapons on us. But what I'm saying is that do they have these weapons on board? Because if they do, then that means that they are a threat to us because they have the ability to do something pretty critical at any time. If they just decided to, if they just woke up on the wrong side of the bed one day, said, you know what, we've been working with their government for all these years. We've given them ultimatums on giving up these nuclear weapons. These humans will never learn. They keep going through these cycles of war. They just won't quit. We tried to give them the guidance and give them all these opportunities to not destroy this planet. And we've told them so many different ways that this is your last chance to do this. You know what I mean? Like, do we? Uh, I get the whole they're advanced thing, and their mindset probably wouldn't be that way. But who can say either way? Like, you can't really say that it wouldn't be, but then you can't really say that it could be, right? So when you have a situation like that, where you can't really say one way or the other, the best thing you could do is be prepared for both. So be prepared for them to be really, really nice. Be prepared for them to potentially be a threat. That's the smart thing to do. Because if you only prepare for one side, then you're going to be at a disadvantage if the unexpected, what you believe is the unexpected happens. Then what do you do then? If you believe they're love and light this whole time, and then tomorrow they wage war against humanity, where does that leave you? You got to ask yourself that question. You got to. You got to. Common sense should tell you that, though. It's just like, and that's the thing. Some people fall in behind people who claim to know everything. And that's one thing that we don't promote or recommend here. You should have an open mind, and you should not fall behind one particular, especially a person that claims to know. Oh no, 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 they're not here for that. No, they're just here to bring us, to enlighten us, and to help move us forward as humanity. How do you know that? Like, how do you know that? Tell me how you know that. And then I'll go with you, because once again, you walk in the middle of the road, and if somebody provides you evidence, then that could lead you this way and that way. So if you know something and you have evidence of something that shows that, then you should probably let us all know and show us. So that way we can all understand, oh yeah, okay, the evidence shows, but we don't have that. We don't have that, man. We're still we're still in the data collection phase of this. We're still in the analyzing patterns part of this. You know, so that's why anytime someone has a conversation with me and they try to stick one way or the other, I'm like, well, you're already wrong. You're already wrong, because unless you have physically spoken to the greater majority of these extraterrestrials, then you can't know. You can only have an idea or a perception. And the whole problem with that perception is that it puts those people who trust you at risk. So your family, if you're the decision maker for the family and you're like, no, we don't need to prepare for these ETs. These dudes are cool. And your family's like, oh, okay, we're going with you. We're going with your word. We're going with what you believe. And then it turns out that that's not the case. Well, now you've let everyone down. Now you put everybody at risk. So what's the common sense way to go about it, man? That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. Derek Galloway. But then again, we are thinking on human terms. And guess what, Derek Galloway? We can only think on human terms because that's what we are. It's not wrong. It isn't wrong. It isn't wrong. Now, to say I would agree with you if it was like, we don't know if they're good or evil, so let's wage war on them before they wage war on us. Now that would be a ridiculous thing to even think or do. Not because they would just destroy us, but because that would be more of the humanistic sort of thinking in the ways that kind of get us, you know, when you make a statement like we're thinking on human terms. Right? So to be prepared, there's nothing wrong with that. To be prepared either way, that's just being smart. Now, to inflict conflict, you know, unprovoked on these things, like anytime you see one, you need to shoot it down. You need to try to shoot at it. Anytime you have contact with these ETs, you need to try to do something bad to it, or, you know, now that I don't agree with. I don't agree with that at all. But I'm just saying, if you don't know the intention of something, you have instincts for a reason, and it has nothing to do with society or the things that we know that are bad here on earth. Your instincts are there, your senses are there. Those come from the world. Those come from the universe. You know what I mean? Your instincts, your reaction. Babies have instincts and reactions at birth. They know nothing about this world or about humanity. They know nothing about what humans do. You know what I mean? They know nothing. Babies know nothing about what humans do until they grow up. But babies have instincts. Magneticus. Remember to change your clock. Remember to change your clock to change that smoke detector pattern. That is funny, dude, because it's beeping off right now, man. You are so funny. Nanicus is funny. He made that joke before. Yeah. So I'm just saying that, man. And obviously, it's just a bunch. You know, we can only talk. We can only discuss it. You know what I mean? It's not really who's right or wrong, really. When you think about it, I don't think anyone's right or wrong. Where you stand on it, I'm just saying. I would hate for you to see. I would hate to see you if it all went down tomorrow and I saw you in the street and you were one of the they're nice people, and then you were not prepared to play a position. I would be sad to see you. I'd be like, oh, you didn't stock up, you didn't make sure you were prepared. I would hate to see that. Obviously I would help. I would make sure that you were okay as far as I could help, but at the same time, I would have hoped that you would have helped yourself to begin with. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the thing, man. When it all hits the fan, I really, yeah, it is. It's not that. Hey, Maggie. Christine. It's not even in this room. It's in a whole nother room, but it's just loud as hell. The Magneticus called it out. So now everybody's going to hear it now. Thanks, Magneticus. I appreciate you. Yeah. Yeah, I wish somebody would call in. Shoot. I was sitting there talking with my voice going out. Oh, I'm sorry, Deb from Sac. I did not know. But we let's keep it positive though. Maybe it was something, maybe a moderator. We don't know. We don't know. Yeah. 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 We don't know the story. We don't know. We don't know. Maybe it will be cleared up over there. But over here, guys, we want to hear about what's going on with you. Yeah. 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 Look, I'm a person that doesn't do drama. If you know me at any point in time, you never see me in any drama. You never see me promoting any drama. because I just don't do it. I just stay away from drama. Drama comes my way, I walk the other way. I don't let drama consume me. I don't let drama get into my head. I don't let drama mess up my day. You know, I think I think if you let drama consume you, then you're losing the battle. You know, positive energy, positive energy. Maybe it was a glitch in the matrix. I mean, who knows? You know, you can't believe when you left the chat room while you guys started trivia, Desiree woke me up on the floor. Huh? Please. What are you saying? Yeah, love. Go on and do that. You can hang backstage. It's all good. You can jump in whenever you're ready. I'm watching the chat here. Yeah, we all love you, Deb. Just so you know that. I mean, I don't like to see anybody feeling bad or having a bad day. So, you know, yeah, that's what I'll say. Yep, Black Dragon's in the building. Black Dragon just stepped in. We was just talking crazy for a minute, man. We were just talking about good versus evil, man, and yeah, I mean, I just see some people stand so hard on that, whether it's on the good or evil side. I wouldn't necessarily, and that's what. Hopefully, that's not how it's coming across. I'm not saying that they are evil. You know, I'm not standing on that side, but I'm not just standing on the good side, man. I'm in the middle, where everybody should be. If you don't know the information, you should be in the middle, where anything is plausible. Well, this either way could be plausible. That's until we find out more and we contact these things and we have actual conversations on record where we have some information, then we can be like, okay, now we know. Oh, these ones are good, but those are bad. Yeah, like we don't have that data yet, so we should be right in the middle, walking that middle line, saying could be either, could be both. Uh, so what are you saying, Derek? You woke up on the floor. Desiree found you in the hallway. Were you having I don't remember falling down or falling asleep on the ground. Very weird. Was that a medical issue, Derek? If it was, you need to get off this chat, bro, and go talk to the hospital, bro. If that's a medical related thing, that doesn't sound like what do you thinking happened there, Derek? Did I pour out some brew for the homies? Brown Dwarf. Unfortunately, I couldn't do it where I'm at, but I'm gonna save the last shot for the homies, man. In the studio, I can't pour it out. Come on, Derek. Medical issue or alien abduction? Yeah, Brown Dwarf. Derek, check for probe activity. Check for probe activity, Derek. I'm just saying, man. You gonna hit us up in the chat, man. You know chat is hard to really tell your demeanor, man. You gonna hit us up, be like, man, you found me passed out on the floor. You know what that sounds like? I'm with Neil Ward. Get checked by a doctor, Derek. Just make sure, man. Just be sure. You're not a spring chicken, bruh. Or I'll eat another big ass grape. Well, that ain't good, Magneticus. Not good at all, sir. Yeah, that juiciness popping. Yeah, exactly. These things is full. Big ass grapes, man. That's all I can say. Damn shame these grapes are this big. You said Brown Dwarf. Do a check my area currently for activity. Just ET activity. Brown Dwarf. Because there is a spot that here in Bakersfield, there's on the north side of town, there's an overlook, and it's not really high, it's just higher above the city. Like as you go north, you're kind of going uphill, and then you get to a point where, since you're on the far side of town, and it's literally like from the side I'm on going to the north, you're literally going up like this gradually. So when you get to the north side, there is a spot up there where when you look back this way to the south side, you can see the entire city. That's where I do the take the fireworks videos. But it's also away from the main city light. So I usually go up there to think. It's like just a little spot where you park, kind of hang out for a minute. So I'll go up there and think, maybe have a drink, maybe have a smoke. And I'm looking for things all the time up there. But yeah, I haven't had any success seeing anything. Maybe one time, but it wasn't anything I could really pinpoint. And I would think from that spot, anything that's happening over the city, you you should definitely be able to see from that point. Let's see. What is he saying? Yeah. Damn, Big League Chew? Wow. This dude brought out Big League Chew. I ain't heard of that in a long ass time. Man. Directly in the center of town where everybody could see it. Yeah, stuff like that. If it didn't hit the news or yeah, on five. Yeah, if you go five, you end up well, yeah, when you cross the grapevine, Brown Door, 5 and 99 split right before you get to Bakersfield, but 5 and 99 still pass through Bakersfield. So if you're on five when you pass through Bakersfield, you're like on the way outskirts. But 99 takes you right through the middle. But I take five when I'm going to Sacramento though, because I don't like hitting all those little towns on the way. And if you blink too fast, you'll miss Bakersfield. That's for sure. It's a real UFO. Where's the video, Derek? 6 minute video. Tell me where the video is. We'll play it right now. We'll analyze it right now. Derek Galloway. Are you sending it to me? Magneticus drove through Las Vegas and didn't see one casino. I don't know how that happened. I do not know. The big old dam. So if you were at the dam, you were on a different freeway. You weren't on the one that takes you right through the strip. Yeah, it's Hoover Dam, but it's on a different freeway. 15 takes you right through the strip. You're probably like on 92 or 93 or something like that. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, you sending it now? Okay, I'm about to check it because I have to forward the link here to the stream yard, and we're gonna check this video out, Derek. We're gonna see what you're talking about. Oh, as a matter of fact, while we're doing that, our friend Tim Senor left us a little message. Let me go ahead and debut. This is our good friend Tim Senor.
Hello, space travelers. Little Timmy Senor. I'm here calling it in. Yeah, if I could only call in the UFO report, I'd still be around. But I'll tell you what, I've got one for you in the after hours, and I'm really curious to see what you guys have to think about this. So recently, Elon Musk tweeted that the real battle is between the extinctionists and the humanists. And he says once you see it, you can't unsee it. And he says that part of his reason for getting Twitter was because he was trying to get it out of the hands of the extinctionists and said so on a recent Joe Rogan podcast. Well, my question is this. If that's true, then potentially AI is a human extinction risk. And that's according to Elon Musk himself. So, do you think that potentially, if this got in the wrong hands, AI could turn against humans? Is this extinctionist way of thinking? I'm kind of a humanist, if so. Either way, who knows? I'm curious to what you think. Thanks a lot, space travelers. Have a great time.
All right, all right. Did you hear Tim Senor? Did you hear the message and the question? If you didn't hear it, let me know so I can play it again. Maybe I'll just play it again, anyways.
Hello, space travelers. Little Timmy Senor. I'm here calling it in. Yeah, if I could only call in the UFO report, I'd still be around. But I'll tell you what, I've got one for you in the after hours, and I'm really curious to see what you guys have to think about this. So recently, Elon Musk tweeted that the real battle is between the extinctionists and the humanists. And he says once you see it, you can't unsee it. And he says that part of his reason for getting Twitter was because he was trying to get it out of the hands of the extinctionists and said so on a recent Joe Rogan podcast. Well, my question is this. If that's true, then potentially AI is a human extinction.
Yeah, hold on. It is hard to hear. He did it. It was way it was recorded. Let me try to boost the levels real quick here. See if I can get it to play louder. Okay, hold on.
This got in the wrong hands.
All right, this might work. Hold on. Auxiliary in, output. All right, let's give it a shot.
Hello, space travelers. Little Timmy Senor. I'm here calling it in. Yeah, if I could only call in the UFO report, I'd still be around. But I'll tell you what, I've got one for you in the after hours, and I'm really curious to see what you guys have to think about this. So recently, Elon Musk tweeted that the real battle is between the extinctionists and the humanists. And he says once you see it, you can't unsee it. And he says that part of his reason for getting Twitter was because he was trying to get it out of the hands of the extinctionists and said so on a recent Joe Rogan podcast. Well, my question is this. If that's true, then potentially AI is a human extinction risk. And that's according to Elon Musk himself. So do you think that potentially if this got in the wrong hands, AI could turn against humans? Is this extinctionist way of thinking? I'm kind of a humanist, if so. Either way, who knows? I'm curious to what you think. Thanks a lot, space travelers. Have a great time.
All right, that definitely came through a lot louder. So, anyone want to answer Tim's question out there? We have also it's like Magneticus Attractus stepping into the stage. Hey, Magneticus, how you doing, sir?
You can hear me now.
I can
Can you hear
definitely
me?
hear you now.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we got a video real quick. I'm about to play. Derek Galloway sent in, which he claims is UFO, and he wants it to be analyzed. So you're right in time to analyze this UFO video that Derek Galloway sent. Let me cue it up. And let me share it. Let's see. Oh, because it's in the mail. It's in mail, okay. Let me open it
Oh,
up.
so you gotta like
Actual
download
YouTube.
it.
Yeah, I just have to forward it into actual YouTube. All right, here we go. Now it's in YouTube. Now let me bring it up here. Let's share that.
See
That
the
is
circle
on the
going.
screen.
Hey,
Okay, good. Now let me full screen it. And Derek wants this to be shown. Everybody pay attention.
Oh, yes! Praise God! Thank you, Jesus! Yes! God! Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Oh, how beautiful! Oh, Jesus! Yes! Up there. Oh, my! Hallelujah! Oh my gosh!
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Jesus! Thank you, Lord! Thank you, Jesus! Beautiful. Look, more and more angels. You see him, hon? Hallelujah! Oh wow! Look at that! Look at the lights! All a bunch of angels. Oh, thank you, Jesus! Yes. Oh, look at him. Blessed Jesus, blessed Jesus. Look at this, Mary. Sister, look. Look how clear it is on here. Look at that. I'll tell you. God is good.
It's a little bit big.
Oh, blessed Jesus, look at that. How many? Yeah. How many?
They're deeper in the clouds. It's so hard to see.
Pastor Reed, come here, look. They're real clear in here, look.
Yeah, you can see them, can't you?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. What a
You'll
wonderful...
have to put that on Facebook so we can all get it.
I'm going to. I definitely am. Praise you, Jesus. Oh, I've never seen nothing like it in my life. Praise God.
Look way over yonder, and what do you think I see? I
See a band of angels, Lord, they're coming after me. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. When I hear that trumpet sound, gonna get up out of the ground. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Well, me, Jesus, meet me in the middle of the air. Gonna rise to meet my Lord. I'm gonna say goodbye down here, but I look way over yonder. What do you think I see? See a band of angels, Lord, they're coming after me. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. When I hear that trumpet sound, gonna get up out of the ground. Ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Oh, I'll tell you, praise God. Yeah.
Now you can see the angels.
I see, look. Look, honey. Look at that. Oh my gosh, you so look good. Wow, you guys, I'm trying to. You're fine. Which way? To the right. Look. Yeah.
Getting a little lower there. Well, come on down and meet us.
Yes, come on down and meet us. Oh, praise God. Look at that.
Yep. Yeah, but there ain't no spotlight. Spotlights don't act like that. Can't be anything. There's nothing really to
Brother
explain
Duke,
that.
look at this.
No natural.
Brother Duke, look. I'm going to put those on Facebook.
Well, send that to me.
I will.
Oh, and there's going to be aliens. I bet a lot of people out there looking at the flying saucers and saying, yeah. That's not spotlight. There's no way that's spotlight.
No way. That's what aliens want.
Spotlights don't act that way.
No, they don't.
They're all over my hair. They're all down here by, she's at the open door, all the way down by the open door.
Well, they that be for us are more than they that be against us.
Yes.
Ron, look at this. Right enough till I shut it off. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look how clear them are.
Yeah.
Did I shut it
I'm
off?
trying to tell people, but this church here is anointed by God.
Exactly.
Look at all the men over there. Yeah, but I ain't no
Yeah, look at them. No, it ain't. I could, I could sit here all night and record this.
Yeah, because spotlights don't do that.
No. Here's a bag. You got my Bluetooth? Awesome. Did you get my Bluetooth? Oh. Here.
Nah.
What are you thinking, Magneticus?
I'm laughing. You know why I'm laughing? Because I sent you a picture of a little NASA little booklet little thingy bobber, right?
Let me see.
I sent you a picture of like it has NASA, and I think it was like it says passport to the future or whatever.
Yeah, the passport. Yeah.
So you know where I got that from, right?
Where?
From NASA, obviously.
Yeah.
But
okay.
And then I was given the tie tack because not everybody was given the tie tack, but I was given the tie tack. Everybody got the little passport to the future at the expedition. So NASA came to town and they had this tractor trailer combination, and you'd go in on one end of the trailer and you come out on the other end of the trailer. And I probably went through that exhibition probably, 10, 15 times. Like I kept going through it a lot, like so much I was getting attention. Like I was going to, they started wondering if I was going to go after the moon cheese sitting on the table. And, but that was in the first room. In the second room of the trailer were these like projectors and cameras. Like if you looked up at the ceiling, you would see like dozens of cameras and projectors up on the ceiling. And then down on the floor, they were projecting like asteroids and goldfish and stuff like that. And if you tried to touch the asteroid, it was like playing asteroids. You could actually knock the asteroid across the room into the person next to you. So if me and you were sitting in the trailer, we could sit there with an asteroid playing ping pong with it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then they had the swimming fish. If you touched the fish would go swimming off. You know what I mean? So you couldn't really touch them. But if you got close to them, and that's what the cameras were for, the cameras were connected to computers, and then the computers were projecting an image in relation to what it was seeing on the camera. You know what I mean? Because it could tell. So you're like limited to like 10 or 15 people at a time because the computer couldn't keep track of that many assets at the same time. You know what I mean? Because you had like dozens of fish on the floor and then you had the people in the room. So that's what it kind of reminded me of, is the images being projected from the overhead projectors. You know what I mean? And then use
Okay.
the clouds as a medium as
That's where I thought you were going with it. That's where I thought you were going with that. Okay. Okay. I
yeah,
went with
yeah.
you on that journey. Cause I
Yeah,
know I
so
I get that.
especially when I kept hearing them going, "Oh, praise Jesus!" I was like, "Oh my gosh, are you for real? Knock it off!" You know, because it was like I don't remember when I got briefed on what was it, Blue Beam. I always want to say Blu-ray, but that has to do with video discs. Go figure. But Blue Beam, was supposed to be, depending on your religion, like in Asia, you'll see Buddha or whatever in the sky. In America, we'll see Jesus.
Right.
And, depending on what nationality you are, depends on what you're going to see up in the sky. So, yeah, that's what it kind of reminded me of, is, because I kept saying they're seeing angels, but I'm like, you got to remember, Rob, that I'm like looking at an image about the size of my thumb on my screen. So
Right.
I I have a hard time. I mean, I seen like a few dots dancing around and stuff, and that's when it was kind of like, it reminded me of watching the goldfish swimming around and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because the goldfish wouldn't swim into each other, you know what I mean, and they wouldn't swim into you, and
Right.
then like the asteroids would just bounce off of things when they ran into each other. You know what I mean? So it was like a different. Yeah. Now I remember telling somebody about how the simulators and stuff, how they can, once you put on that VR mask, you really can't tell where you're going. That's why I always
Right.
joke about the lemmings walking off the cliff. You know what I mean? They got their VR mask on. They're chasing that piece of candy in the VR, and they walk right off a cliff. You know?
Right.
So
I'm
I
with
mean, I
you.
don't know. I don't know what it was. So, that's when people just say they see orbs and stuff like that. That's the first thing comes to mind, is the satellite weapon stuff, that they've had since the 1980s, if not before. You know what I mean? I know Reagan was like the big poster child for General Electric, and he was made famous by the riflemen back in the day.
Right.
So,
No, so I understand what you're saying. So, and there's an element of that there. I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking when I was watching it. That may, but again, the video's pretty small. I mean, and they took it in, what is that, portrait mode? That's crazy for one.
yeah.
And then for
I hate when my
two,
phone does that.
the lady who was in the film was like, "Oh, she got it good." So I'm hoping her video would come out then, because it looked like her phone was probably a little better and she was doing the right thing with it. But when I was observing it, I'm like, "Wow, okay, this is really strange." And then what I did look at was, I was looking for these things to come out of the clouds. I was looking for them because the clouds are kind of broken up. So I was looking for them to appear outside of the cloud. But it seemed like they were only being seen on the cloud. So when it went from cloud to cloud, even though there were breaks in the cloud, you should have seen this object show up, not obscured by the cloud. So the
Right.
fact that it went from cloud to cloud that way makes me feel like it was possibly some lights being shined on the cloud, because obviously if those lights hit a break in the clouds, they're going to disappear because they have nothing to reflect off of, and
Right.
then get picked up again once they hit the next set of clouds. And if you look back at it, and I was just looking for in those dark spots for it to show up, and none of them ever did. They all appeared to do the
Right.
same thing, where they would disappear when they
Right.
went to the
As
blank
soon as they
spot.
didn't have the medium, as soon as they didn't
Yes,
have the water vapor to reflect off of it, they
yes.
disappeared. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
So
that's, and it's like, I mean, I call it the Iron Curtain. I always call it the Iron Curtain because, like, every time, about the time troops are about to be moved around, the airplanes go across the sky. And if you watch the trail coming out the back of the plane, it'll go into a real thin layer over a large area in the sky.
right.
And that's why I call it the Iron Curtain. I'm like, they just rolled out the Iron Curtain, you know what I mean? So something's going on. I don't talk about it because, it might be for reasons of national security, and, they don't need everybody knowing that there's what's being moved, you know what I mean? Other than I can say the Iron Curtain went out and you have no idea what's being moved under the Iron Curtain. And that was to block the spy satellites going overhead. They spray that radioactive whatever it is. It's got some kind of radioactivity, so the satellites that are using the radiation they bombard the Earth with gets reflected back from whatever they're putting in the jet stream. You know what I mean? Or just below the jet stream, I should say.
Definitely.
Depends.
And
It,
I'm playing the video again just while you were talking here, just so
right,
you can kind of see. So if you notice there's dark areas in those clouds where there's breaks in the
right.
clouds, and the lights never show up in those dark spots.
See, like right now,
They
I see
hop
like
from one
three
cloud to the
lights.
next.
I see like three lights doing something over in like the left top cornerish area. Right?
Right.
Okay. Like I said, I'm looking at very tiny little
And you
itsy
can
bitsy
see
picture.
in the middle
So,
of that screen, like right below where
see, at
those
first,
lights are, there's
I,
a
I
dark
was seeing a
area. They
face right
never.
there in the clouds. That's what I was seeing, like those two dark spots and the bigger dark spot in the bottom. I was seeing a face there, and I thought that's what they were looking at. So I kind of focused on that at first, and then eventually I seen the little dots of lights moving around in there somewhere.
Yeah, and I'm just looking for them to expose themselves in those dark areas, and it doesn't seem like they are. This is just weird. It's
Right.
definitely strange. It's definitely strange just to start off. But now when you try to analyze it and you break it down, see, like that one just disappeared off that cloud and appeared on the next cloud. Like, why wouldn't it show in the
In
dark
between the
area?
clouds.
Right.
Right. And
That's
that,
the
that
thing.
that's typical of a projected image. I mean, my first encounter was, I don't know what was outside my bedroom window projecting images on the wall, but whatever it was projecting images on the wall. You know what I mean? And that was it was either late 70s, early 80s, somewhere in that neighborhood. Somewhere in that neighborhood. How old would you be in the second grade? Because that's how old I was.
You would be 7.
7, so that'd put me, yeah, right around 1980. Right around 1980. Aurora, Colorado. I'll never forget it. Never forget it. Same with the first time I lost time, 3 hours of time or whatever. And my dad lost the same time, so both of us couldn't figure out where we went. So, who's to say? You
Yeah.
know, I
Yeah.
mean,
I
for a long
mean,
time, I was just convinced it was just government junk most of the time. And that was how I explained it for many, many years, is it was just government experiments, you know.
Long Island Bigfoot, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're the legend, buddy. It's the legend, Long Island Bigfoot. Mike just stepped in the building, y'all. Give it up, give it up. Yeah, Mike, we're just analyzing this video that Derek sent in. I'll say at the surface, I sat here for a minute and it was just looking very strange. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And I'm just trying to figure out what would explain this. And it could be wrong. I mean, it could not be what I'm thinking it is, but it's definitely looking weird. And it
Yeah, see, it
the one
reminds me of
thing
like the spotlights being shined up in the clouds.
right,
You
and
know,
I was
when
I was
when they
thinking
had like
that
the
too.
event going on or whatever. So
I was
I
thinking
mean,
that
that's
too, but usually you can see the beams from those lights.
right. Yeah. Well, unless there's like no humidity in the air. I mean, that's the big factor in that. That's why I always tell people with rainbows, you got to be at a 42-degree angle from the sunlight. So it's sun to the water droplet to your eye, it has to be a 42-degree angle. And that's where you see a rainbow,
Hmm.
just so you know.
The only thing that's weird to me, the only thing where I'm like, man, that's weird. The weird part to me is that the source of light seems to glow pretty brightly in a concentrated, and it could be achieved by some sort of high powered flashlight, but it's just the source of light seems so bright in a
Right? And
small area.
focused. Right.
And focused, exactly.
Well,
Which
maybe
is
it's a
weird.
phased array. It could be a phased array where the beams converge and that's where you see the light.
Oh man, this video, I'm looking on YouTube. This video is 240p. I mean that for starters, that it's not a good place to start.
Right? Grainy resolution from
Yeah,
double
from
hockey sticks.
right. I'm like, give me 720. Come on, give me 720. And here, let me see. Let me read the information on this video, who posted it and what they said, because the video, hopefully it leads to someone else's video that caught the same thing. Oh, this is on Derek's page. Where did you get the video, Derek? Was there other videos?
Is it in the description?
Let me see.
So that's what YouTube looks like on a computer.
all weird and awkward, exactly.
It looks completely different compared to on a phone all the time. I can't
Yeah.
believe I've used nothing but a phone for like 2 or 3 years now. I honestly have not had a computer. And my internet's being all weird now. My screen is frozen, I think. Uh-oh.
It's weird. There's no source video, Derek. I would like to see the source, man. That'd be
Oh,
cool.
there it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's too grainy, though. It's too grainy to say for sure, man. Here's the thing. I would think that hopefully they would have submitted that information to at least the news. Maybe it showed on the news locally that night. He got it from Discord.
But the thing is they're like in multiple different places too. You had some that were over to the left and some were over to the right, but they were clustered and moving around like all those Christmas the projector Christmas lights they make now. You know, that kind of dance around with the laser or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of has that pattern to it, but it's not like, yeah, I don't know. Well, and like you said, from the distance for a laser isn't going to make that big of a spot up in the sky. Not a laser.
Right.
You know. So, I don't know. It definitely makes you wonder.
It does make you wonder. It just leaves you with some questions. I mean, you have some things where you say, oh, maybe it could be this, but maybe not. Or maybe it could be this, but it's just, the thing is that the quality of the video just handicaps you from the start. It just doesn't let you get anywhere with.
Have you ever been to a laser light show like they do in Seattle Science Center?
No, I mean, the closest I've been is lights you're talking about, like for movie premieres and things like that they show.
Yeah. Well, have you ever seen a laser light show? I always remember when they'd fill the room with fog and then send the laser beam through the fog, and you could actually see the where it's thick and thin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Depending on the density of the fog. So that's what I was kind of looking at too, is like, you know, do you got that kind of action going on where, you know, it's brighter where you got more cloud and lighter when you don't have as much cloud. And like you said, it seemed to disappear when it went between the clouds. So, and clouds are kind of weird in themselves because you can't tell how far away they are exactly. You know what I mean? Because you could have clouds sitting at 5,000 feet and then clouds sitting at 10,000 feet behind those at 5,000 feet. And at the right angle, they look like they're sitting right next to each other. You know what I mean? And there's 5,000 feet of altitude between the two.
Right.
So
let's see what's on UFO Twitter.
oh, I added you on Twitter.
You did? Let's see.
Yeah. Coley got me to convince me to try Twitter. So after I tried to do that arcane thing or arcan or whatever that thing is called, it told me to pick the sound of a cat, and apparently is the sound of a cat or something like that. I kid you not. It sounded nothing like a cat, but apparently that's what you had to click on to convince Karen at Twitter that you're not a robot.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And I had to download the app, and then it was like, well, the one kind of did sound like a cat the first time I had to do it, but then I tried to send her a message, and then they gave me the robot check again, and I'm just like, I'm a real person. Really, I am. And then the second time it asked me to pick the one sound that sounds like a cat, and I'm like going, none of them sound like a cat. So I just started doing, well, let's try one, let's try two. And it just happened to be one. It might have been two, who knows? It might have let me pick anything.
Definitely. Let's see what this is.
See, that's how the lasers look, that green light, like that.
Yeah, this is Think Tank, man. With Think Tank, yeah, they have sometimes.
They going through glass and water?
And sometimes you can't go off of what they say at Think Tank sometimes, man. It's sad to say, but it's the truth.
Well, one thing I noticed that was cool with lasers is in my water fountains, they're spiraling down. If you shine a laser through the spiraling water, and it actually like bends the light all over the place.
Yeah, apparently this is from Saudi Arabia, but those are always random videos from the Middle East, and I don't really get into those. Let me see. Let me go back.
Right.
It's just hard, man. Think Tank, sometimes they have some stuff that's clearly fake, like this. This isn't Think Tank, but that's obviously not real. Someone is
In the world is that?
Says someone has crafted a mini portal in their lab. Do you want to try it out? Using what? What is that?
What in the world? What, they have like potassium in there or something?
You see it again?
Well, it looks like... What's in the background that just went poof like that? Yeah, that right there. What was that? Phew. That's the part that reminded me of sodium. Sodium hitting water.
I was gonna say that's the thing. That's the thing about UFO Twitter. There's never any information with these videos. It's always just
Right. Gotta look
what
at it for
people
10 minutes
post.
before you notice what they're doing. Well, at first I couldn't tell if it was like, nitrogen gold and that's what was making the smoke, or something was look like it was making smoke. So thought maybe it was like a reaction of some kind. Maybe it was like a superconductor that was cold. And then as it warmed up, it slowed down.
It's supposed to be security guard films UFO hovering over the Pucara quarry in Peru. Watch to the end to see it morph into different shapes. So we'll watch that. Let's see what that's all about.
Usuna. Un ovni. Usuna, mira. Mira, 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 mira cómo se para, mira, 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 ¿viste? ¿Viste? Ya, pero mira, mira mira, puta, mira, qué locazo, weón. Qué locazo, weón. Es un ovni, weón. Pero es un ovni gigantesco, mira. Puta, qué loco, weón. ¿Tú crees que vamos a hacer motos? ¿Para ti qué es? A ver, dime. Puta, qué locazo, weón.
So is he looking at the bright light up in the sky?
Yeah.
Por fin, Dios mío, se me cumplió el deseo.
That's the focus of the video. Okay.
Y esos son de los buenos.
This was blocking it. Hold on. Joe says, who's filming this? Stevie Wonder?
What?
Yeah, I mean, that's what you guys said. Is he filming that light? And I'm like, well, kinda. It appears to be the focus.
Well, I noticed the dog has no interest in it, whatever it is.
Right.
So that's why, I mean, that's one thing I'm looking at is like whatever is there, the dog doesn't seem to notice it. But then,
the dog doesn't seem to give a
yeah, exactly. The dog was just kind of looking at him like, what? You know? So you wonder if that's one of those that the artifacts added after, after the fact.
Apparently, this is from San Diego.
Is that?
But I've seen these types of things. These are usually like those
Sarah, get out here!
Holding sparklers.
What is that?
Huh. That was the 2020 Olympic Chinese fireworks
Sarah,
display.
get out here!
That's what that was. Did they ever do that?
Did they ever do what?
Sarah!
The Chinese put up like a whole bunch of like fireworks up in space, and they're going to set them off for the Olympics.
Oh Lord, that is ridiculous.
And I don't know if they ever fell through with it or not, or followed through with it.
Sarah, get out here!
To explode something, well, I guess they already have.
What is that?
Rules on for that. Those are skydivers. Yeah, jump. This is a well-known
Sarah, get out here!
technique performed by Navy SEALs for base in San Diego. See, because now on Twitter, readers can add context to videos. So a reader added that context and giving you an example of it right here. And that's good though. I like context because, yeah, this is what it actually wasn't the same incident, but an example of what they do.
So what they do, all jump out of the same airplane at the same time with flares?
Yeah, pretty much. And then it just looks like, so you can see the chutes open.
Well, that's some crazy lights going on in that one.
Yeah, but you see, this is pretty much exactly what was being shown. But it just shows how, quick people are to post stuff.
That actually knowing what they're posting.
Right. I think it's pretty wild, man. I think it's reckless too. Cause post it saying like, "What is this?" but don't post it like it's UFO activity.
Well, if you don't know what it is and it's flying through the air, technically it is unidentified flying object.
Yeah, but this one was too easy because there's like people. Well, I guess unless this person has never seen one of these videos, you may be able to
Well,
give them that.
you know how many times I hear UAP now, and I'm sitting there thinking unmanned aerial platforms like Predator drones? Is that the UAP they're talking about?
That's
These kind of
what I'm thinking.
UAPs. You know. This one that's going to come out of the cloud. Oh. Gonna go into the cloud.
Yeah, we know that one. Let's see.
Maybe elevator.
Terrible footage.
Yeah, right.
Is this Valentic? No.
Killed in crash. What am I doing here?
Yeah, I'm glad too. Let's watch some Skinny Bob. Where you at on Skinny Bob, man? What do you
Me?
feel about Skinny Bob? Yeah. Real or no?
Hard to say. Hard to say.
Yeah,
That's all I'm gonna say.
I agree. It is hard to say. The video is compelling. The video is compelling. I just don't see. Here's just logically looking at it. If it's CGI, then yeah, fake. But if you're claiming this is a puppet or something of that nature, then I'm gonna say no. So it just depends on
I don't know.
how
You'd be
you're
surprised when it
positioning
comes to puppets, though. Especially in this day and age. I mean, you can
Yeah.
fake a lot of stuff with puppets, animatronics and stuff.
Skinny Bob, isn't this from what? 30 years ago? Isn't this from the 90s or something like that? Let's see.
Well, how long has the Walt Disney had his Imaginarium or whatever it's called?
I mean, for some, if this is an actual puppet moving like that. Mike Boplo says real.
So you get a midget to put on a football helmet,
I mean,
and then you put putty around that.
here's what the thing that gets me is just anatomically, it looks like maybe it could be a feasible thing. Like, even if it is CGI or whatnot, anatomically, it just looks like this could be something. You know what I mean? As far as
Right.
the proportions, it just appears that the way it's put together, this could be something that is an actual thing. But I've never. Hey, Area 51, welcome to the combo.
Am I on?
You are on.
Yep.
You are on live.
Hey, Magneticus. Your
Magneticus.
volume is so much louder than Rob G's. Like, it's imbalanced.
Oh, is it? Is it?
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, I can fix that if somebody just say something.
Yeah, no, it's just like I can barely hear him.
Good.
Okay,
Can-
my bad.
How's that now? Any better?
Is that good?
Why am I hearing some different stuff? Oh, there it is. Okay.
I was gonna say the video playing in the background is like really loud. I can barely hear Rob over that.
That might be it too.
Oh, okay. Is it?
There it is. Now we're now I can hear you both the same.
It's weird because my mic settings when I'm on Space Out Radio use the same settings over here, and it's always an issue.
Right?
It's weird.
But he is right.
Couldn't
The
hear you.
music in the background is a little loud.
Is it? Yeah, because
Yeah.
to me it doesn't sound loud. Let me go ahead and do something.
Yeah, here it's like super loud. That music is super loud, and you're like a whisper.
All right. We don't need that.
Yeah, much better.
All right.
And I
Yeah,
can
we're
still
talking
hear
about
you.
Skinny Bob, Area 51. Real or no?
Awesome. I saw this when I was probably 17 at one of my friend's house. So it's yeah.
Like, if you think it's not real, what's the giveaway for you? If you think it's real, what's the giveaway?
I think because there was like, you guys could still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear
Okay,
you.
cool. All right, yeah, because I didn't mute the other one. It was kind of a delay. That's where I was messing up. But so my friend showed me this video and another one from that was like a interview between aliens. I think this one is more credible than the other one.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if everyone, I'm trying to find it right now, but there's another one where they're interrogating an alien. He's sitting down in like an interrogation room. Like if you were, like if there was someone who just got murdered and like you're the suspect, they have him down and sitting down and he starts freaking out and they come in and see like people, you know what I mean? So it's like, I saw that one. I'm like, that one's real.
He starts convulsing and freaking out and spitting up out his mouth and stuff.
Yep,
I'm like,
Yep. But skinny,
that's
I want to believe.
that's
There.
what Mike
Haha.
Bothwell's asking.
I
He
want to
said,
believe. I want to believe that this. I mean, show it to the kids from Zimbabwe if this is what they
yeah,
saw.
that's a good idea, Juan. Because I was thinking that I was gonna say that to Magneticus a moment ago because
Yeah.
when I was saying I'm just not seeing anything enough to be like this is fake. Let's put a stamp on it. This is fake, and
I mean,
it
who can
just
fit into
lines
that?
up. And if you think about most of the ETs, especially the grays that people say that they see, they always say like a tight black suit. Which obviously, if this was gonna be a fake, then the person would know to put it in a tight black suit. But at the same
See, from that
time, that's a
angle
good
right there.
idea to show it to the kids from Zimbabwe. Dude, that is the answer to the puzzle.
Yeah,
One straight up. That just
straight
solves
up,
it. Because we know those kids saw what they saw. So we asked them, did
100%.
it look like this? And they're like, nah, it didn't look like that.
Because it did mention the black suits, and I don't call them black suits. I call them turtlenecks.
Pretty much. Yeah, he got a turtleneck here is what it seemed like, almost like a.
And not to take away from the seriousness of it, but that
No, that's
the
true though.
moment you guys saw, you guys were showing this, and I heard you guys talking about it. I go, show it to the kids from Zimbabwe. If this is what they saw, they'll instantly say yeah,
Dude, that's a good idea, man. I
because
wonder if
it
we could
does
talk to
look
one.
like what they saw.
When it's looking to the left, right, like right there, boom, boom. If you
Yep.
paused it while it was looking to the left, and then you superimposed a child's head in there, I bet that chin is in the same place as the child's head, and then you have like the big old back of a helmet going on there. I'm just saying, if it was fake,
Yeah.
that's how I do it. Because when you look
But-
at it, if you think about it, about the size of the head, you would need some like serious neck muscles to hold that cranium on your shoulders. Nothing personal,
That's a big.
which it kind of does look like it does have kind of a big neck because it's like tapering
Yes.
up out of the shirt.
Yes. That neck looks
So
pretty
it's
huge.
like it does have like the bigger muscles maybe, but it's poor quality, so you can't like actually tell what you're looking at. So is it Hollywood prop room, or is it yeah,
See,
I don't know.
And Mike Bothwell asked Rob, what do you think about the alien interview? And that's what we were just talking about, Mike. And my opinion on the alien interview is it's too jerky. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Its motions aren't fluid. It's too jerky and too animatronic. It seems like mechanical
Exactly.
movements. So the alien and the guy John Stewart is running around trying to convince people that it's real, and I'm just like, yeah, you're giving a lot of information that doesn't really prove that this is real. Oh, hold on, they lost the stream, and it's because I'm playing this video.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. As soon as I pause that, then it'll bring us back in. Yeah.
Or is it like trying to copyright strike you or something?
Somebody is. Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Hold on.
Oh, Karen definitely has some bugs.
By the way, man, I was just talking to my girlfriend, and I go, "This dude is too smart."
I mean, it surprised me how many people didn't realize Karen is AI, just like on SpongeBob SquarePants. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Karen is the robotic wife of
Yeah,
Plankton.
yeah. For
And
Plankton.
it was giving me errors. I mean, that video was being played off of Twitter.
Jeez.
I wasn't even on something being played from YouTube.
Yeah, but you got to
Suspended.
remember that you're probably using a Microsoft product, and if not, you're probably using an Apple product, because I highly doubt you're using a Unix product. And
That's
definitely
true.
have you'd have issues, platform issues then. But yeah, the new computers, they watch everything you're doing. You don't even own your new computers. Microsoft or Apple owns your new computer. You're just paying them to use it.
That's funny.
It's not funny.
Well, I know it's funny just because me and my friend were just talking about that the other day, and they go, "I need a new vacuum," and next thing you know, I get advertised all these vacuums from
Right.
every platform I'm on, and I'm like,
Yeah, the
it's
cool
whatever.
thing
That's
is
why I
is
call my
that
phone must buy from China.
if they do
That's
bring
what.
the stream back up, then everything we're talking about now would still, be part of the show. So
Cool, cool. Uh, Rob G, if you don't mind, can you turn your mic a little bit up more, or your
yeah,
volume?
it's still down. Okay,
Yeah, a
how
little
about
bit down.
now?
Yeah, you're the only ones a little bit down.
Is it better?
Yep, right now. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's just I think the balance is a little bit off on my end.
Yeah, we're back now. We're back,
Skinny
guys.
Bob.
Thanks for hanging in there. Yeah.
By the way, I'm not so familiar with the story
Another
of Skinny
Karen
Bob
tube.
at all. So, like, where did the name come from?
See, now you're low to me, Juan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I agree. Juan's low.
Now, no,
Go ahead, speak.
there's no way. It would have to
You're
be on your
close.
end.
Yeah, you're close to the same
Okay.
level now.
Okay.
Yeah, you're better.
Okay, cool. Where did the name Skinny Bob originate from? Because I don't know this history behind Skinny Bob.
It's a good question. And I'm afraid to look something up because then they're gonna want to whack the stream again here. So
You know, whack us.
yeah,
You know what
that's
you know
ridiculous,
what the
dude.
name
We're
Bob
talking about
means, don't
Skinny
you?
Bob. Who owns Skinny Bob video, man? To be
That Skinny Bop was Poison, I think, or one of those bands back in the day. Cinderella, or no, it was Poison. It was Poison on Skinny Bop, but that wasn't Bob. And years ago, like 20 years ago, Bob used to mean battery-operated boyfriend. And just so you know.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm thinking? Maybe it was the music.
Oh, because you kept playing the music over and over again.
Yeah, maybe because I'm like, who owns Skinny Bob? It can't be claiming Skinny Bob, so maybe it was the music behind Skinny Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it was. Okay, well, yeah. So alien video, interview video, yeah, fake. I'm pretty sure it's fake. That's what I was saying when the stream went down. Is the dude John Stewart who's been running around. He's spending money to trying to say that the video is real, and he's giving all these points and people that he's talked to who validated this person and this person that was there and all these different things, but there's nothing about the alien itself that appears to be real, and that's kind of where, like, let's prove some of that. Like, I don't care who was there. All those people could have definitely been there. And it could have been a production.
Right.
So,
but it's also the same thing when it comes down to the alien autopsy too. If anyone's ever seen that one.
Oh yeah. That I don't know about that one. That one.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about that one, Magneticus. The alien autopsy.
I don't even know either. I'm just bringing it up because that one was a controversial one too.
I have no idea about that.
Very strange.
I mean, for me, it was after 2005. Had to be after 2005.
Yeah.
I remember somebody was. I started talking about things, and I was like, just private message, like talking about things, back when you couldn't say echelon and chat without getting attacked. Because it was supposed to be their secret program over in Greenland, melting the melting the ice. The ice is melting. The ice is melting. Well, stop cooling your CPU. Your supercomputer CPU with all this ice. The ice will stop melting. I remember, but that's how I got introduced to Edward Dames, and his RV stuff, and then I remember people kept telling me to read Ezekiel in the Bible, and I'm like, after reading Revelations, I really don't want to read the rest of the Bible. But I eventually read Ezekiel, and I'm like, oh, that's why they wanted me to read Ezekiel. And I'm like, oh, I see why they wanted me to read Ezekiel. And then I started looking around more in the Bible, and then all the weird stuff I find in the Bible. You'd be like, they don't teach
there's very strange things in the Bible that I won't even resort to too, and I'm not even religious, so like I don't claim a religion at all. If there's a higher power, show me. But Brown Dwarf. When did that come on? He mentioned that it came on TV. When did that come on TV? Sorry, that just brought my attention to what is he talking about. But other than that, I was watching the videos you just showed, like 6 minutes of like these orbs dancing with each other. I had it on mute, but me and my girlfriend were watching it together, and I said that's like the same thing we watched that night. And she freaked out. She's like, that's exactly what they look like. And then the orbs just like mingling with each other. And I call them dancing. So it was cool to see that. I was like, oh my God, someone actually caught them on video because I didn't catch them on video. So that was cool that you guys. Who caught that video, by the way?
Who caught which one?
You guys were showing the orbs in the sky.
That was from Derek.
There was like 7 of them.
Yeah, Derek Galloway found that video somewhere.
Yeah, that was amazing because we only saw 3 dancing with each other, and that's what I call it dancing. And they were doing the same thing that they were doing in the video, and I go, holy cow! I was like, look, and so I turned it on, and she was watching. She's like, that's what we saw that night, and I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, go to bed so I can talk to everyone. So that was cool. Thank you for showing that video. And it's a long video, so that's a lot of.
And that was with the alien autopsy video. Maggie's pointing out because Mike Boswell said he thought it was just a leak, and then Maggie and Tim was like, "Oh, it was claimed as a reconstruction of a real alien autopsy," and I forgot about that point. That was true. Supposedly that they, it was supposed to be. Yeah, this is what the video looked like. And did a recreation of it. So, but without the original, then we will never ever know. Now, here's the thing. Pretty sure that they've done an autopsy on one for sure. So we know that's possibly fact that they've done it. But the question is, would a video have leaked from that? I'm going to look at that real quick, Derek. As long as it doesn't get us brought, well, we'll see. Let me see.
The only way I see a video leaking like that is either if someone was like insanely crazy, being like exposed to it and said, people need to see this, but unless it's in abundance, the same way as people who get surgery, get tested, and all these things to document procedures. If this was like the first one, I don't see it being leaked.
Yeah, I mean,
if this was the first one, I don't see it being leaked unless they were that desperate to be hey, look what we have. How
And
desperate do you have to be though at that point?
here's my feeling. I would feel like there would have been other things that would have leaked before an alien autopsy.
Yeah.
Like, how about just the retrieval of the alien? That's probably an easier video to get leaked out there. How about the retrieval of the crashed craft? You probably be able to, since it's out in the open somewhere, you might be able to get away with that video. But somewhere in a closed off area where I'm sure you have to have some sort of security level to even come into this room where this is taking place, and then that person with the clearance would have to been the one that took the video or ended up getting the video put out, unless
Yeah,
someone
how big
hacked
was
the
the Sony
server.
Handycam
But
back in the day?
there's a couple things you have to point out during that time. If we're going back into that era, you're terrified of what they could do to you. You don't have an iPhone that you can just like instantly TikTok it or Instagram it or Facebook it or whatever platform you use as your social media. You literally just submit to it. It's not like you can take a picture and then you have to hold it and be like, where am I going to upload it? Now you have to live with all that anxiety in your pocket. Now we can actually do that. We can actually snap a picture, upload it within seconds. There's a difference between back then and now, and it's different. And I understand people are not. I'm not quick, to be honest. I'm not quick with my phone. Like I won't even if I see a UFO, I'm not quick to take out my phone and just point it at the sky. I'm
Man,
not
the best stuff happens around me when I don't have my phone on me.
exactly.
I
My
always
phone's
see like
probably
the
like at
coolest stuff.
2%. I
Like
can't
one day
even
I
use
was
my
walking down
camera.
the trail. Man,
I can't even use my camera.
Derek sent
I'm at
another
2% all the
video.
time.
Hopefully, Derek, you don't get copyright
But it's
strike
hard.
for
But
this.
I think someone said the other day, you got to train. It's like muscle memory. You got to train yourself to kind of get it out and just like using a gun. Like if you were, I'm sorry, whoever doesn't use a gun, but or carries, but to use a gun and be able to react. But I don't have that skill.
what are they looking at in the fire?
Yeah, I thought that was.
No, pausing it for a few
I thought
seconds
he went in
in
live.
That
case.
reminds me of head gas burning off. Well, it looks like head gas burning off a well.
Browndorf, I have all the seatbelts on, even the people that wear them.
Love claims to be a she-devil.
Is she?
I don't know. That's what she claims. It's her claim. She's the goat. The she-devil goat. No, I'm just joking.
Oh, that's a
She's
big
like
part.
still convinced that I think she's a guy for some reason. I'm just like, I tell people, I'm like, on the internet, I don't know if you're a man or a woman or what. So, until I hear
100%. I said the
otherwise,
same thing. Sometimes I go like, bro, and I'm like, I should probably not say that. 'Cause I don't know. Some people have misleading names.
right? Just call him human. Hey, human. Human, over here. Mach schnell. Nein. Sorry.
Amigo.
Andale. Mach schnell.
Oh man.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
My,
You're good.
a neighbor
That's so
speaks
funny.
Spanish, and I was like speaking German, and
Yeah, I know,
and
like, dude, speaking German and
and I'm like, no habla español, amiga, and and people are like, how come you say you don't speak Spanish and you're saying it in Spanish? And I'm like, well, you know, I know enough to say I don't know enough, you know.
Love you, love. I know you do.
I don't know, Derek.
Love you. I know you do. I know you do.
I thought Love was gonna get in on this conversation.
Oh, she
She was
hopped
all like,
in and hopped back out. I saw her.
well, she needs to get back in here and
I
like,
spotted her.
she needs to speak. Speak, please.
Has by the way, because there's been moments that I've missed the show. Has Derek Galloway got on
No.
here yet?
No.
Oh, call him out right now.
Call him Derek Runaway. Derek Runaway
Yeah,
from
there
the.
you go. That is his name now.
Being called out. Why does that Scientology video keep getting moved out, moved out, moved out, moved out?
Who said that?
I seen that. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like,
I'm gonna tell you why.
I wonder what he's gonna say about those freaks. Well, I guess I shouldn't call them freaks.
It's because, for one, because when I first put it up, when I was originally gonna do it, then that's when I started over at Spaced Out Radio. So immediately my weeks became consumed with
preoccupied.
Yeah, getting that show together. And now now that show is kind of on autopilot, there's still some things we're doing, but I don't have to devote as much time during the week to that show. So now I can do it, but I've compiled a lot of information on Scientology, and because it's real complicated. I mean, when you present it, you have to present it right in order for you to be able to absorb it. Yeah,
because you didn't have your T crossed or something, forgot to dot an I or whatever.
And it's so intricate. It's so intricately detailed. The smallest nuances within it. It's just crazy. Yeah, and you're right. Just not having the T cross. Because there's a lot of Scientology podcasts and shows out there. I mean, they know, and I want to get one of them. And that's the other reason why I'm pushing it out, because I want to get just not a random. I want to get somebody that has a name in it to kind of, talk about it as well. Because it's not, I mean, you can try to do one show.
Mormonism.
Yeah, and it's just as bad. It's just as bad as that on some levels. As far as there's an extreme side of Mormonism, obviously.
Wait,
and,
you guys say
pretty
Mormonism?
similar to
like
that.
Mormons?
If you want to see something funny, go into a Mason meeting, and then go into a Mormon meeting and see if you can see the similarities in the two.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
That's the reason why I separated myself.
Here's the thing, but there's there's levels. When Scientology is just all in this one level, though. That's the difference. Mormonism, you have just the normal Mormons, Latter-day Saints, and some of them are extreme, but then you get down to those real extreme groups, like the ones that practice polygamy, and not all of them do that. You know what I mean? So it's like an extreme part of it. But when you get to the extreme side of it, Scientology lines up with it real nice, and that's one of the things that I'm going to end up touching in that. But I'll tell you a story real quick about it. Actually, I've been following Scientology for a while. And my brother was also, and he lives in the Bay Area. He works for NASA. So one day, I was going to visit him at his apartment in Santa Clara. And on his way home from work, he stopped by a Scientology. He didn't stop to go in. He just stopped and was like, oh, wow, there's a Scientology place. And he kind of just sat there for a second. And then he left. Now, apparently, one of their private investigators saw him stop, and they followed him home. He didn't know they were following him. He got back to his apartment, and when he pulled into his stall at his apartment, the Scientologist or the private investigator hopped out of the car and ran up to his driver's side window and started making gestures and doing all sorts of just weird stuff. And he was like, man, do I get out the car? Because the dude followed him all. And that's the type of stuff that they do. They try to, they're looking at him as if he's against Scientology, and yeah, he's reporting on them, or he's an investigator trying to obtain information, and that's kind of how they look at you. So, and that was in Santa Clara. So when I came up with this show idea,
you got the outer code.
I went to the Scientology place, I guess you call it a church, out in Los Angeles. And I went to the Celebrity Center, which is where all the celebrities go who are Scientologists. And then I went to right around the corner to the Blue Building, which is just for normal Scientologists. So, and no sooner, I had made one lap around the block and they already had security on me. So I couldn't really do anything because the moment, you can't, I got some of the Sea Org members while they were doing their duties, and I took a picture of some other stuff, but they were on it immediately. And I'm talking about as soon as when you get there, once the security is on you, they won't leave you. They'll follow you around the whole thing until you leave. And then when you leave, which they did anyway, they got my license plate. So I'm like, okay. They call that in to their friends because pretty much every area where you have a Scientology center, they're buddy with the police that work those areas, and so it's easy for them to call it in and get the information, no problem. And
they got bank in their pocket, man.
Oh man, I'm telling you, these dudes, but they're so cold, man. When it comes down to like the disconnection and how they force you to disconnect from family. Like you're
and probably from reality as well.
Well, obviously from reality, but from your family though. Like imagine going into Scientology and you decide to leave, but your mother stays, and now she has to disown you, and you may never talk to her for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? That's how it is in there, and it gets deep like that. People have. Like one person leaves and the rest of the family stays. Well, you're no longer connected to being. You can't talk to them anymore. It's not allowed. It's called It's not disowning, disconnecting is what it is. And then you get labeled what they call a suppressive person. And once you're labeled a suppressive person, then anyone in Scientology can no longer associate with you at all. If they see you, they have to go the other way. If you walk in somewhere where they're at, they have to leave immediately and get out of there. And it's sad, man. It's sad that people they do this. And as kids coming in there, they have them sign up for what they call billion-year contracts with a B, billion-year contracts that kids sign to be within Scientology. So I'm just going to give you all the details, but I have all the stuff already compiled, and I have it, and I'm ready to do the show.
Yeah,
I just have to format it the right way, because when I present it, I just want to make sure it's being presented correctly.
I don't know if it's going to be like UFO disclosure, and the goalposts just kept moving and moving and moving.
Exactly. I know. I was like, everybody knows that. Like, nobody's noticing that. Nobody's really.
If you're getting all your ducks in a row, I understand. That makes sense.
It was
I almost did it this week because I have all the data. I almost did it this week. I was like, I'm gonna just do it. But I was like, nah, I gotta do the Saturday show, and it was some stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna push it out this last time. So the date I have set now, that's the date. We're gonna do it on that date.
All right, cool.
Around Thanksgiving somewhere.
Yeah, it's right. It is. It's like 2 weeks out.
Right around
from
Thanksgiving
now.
sometime.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And that'd be perfect time, you know what I mean? Because it's time you with your family, and Scientology will strip you from your family. Scientology will destroy your family. You know what I mean? It's so sick what they do in there, dude. It is so sick. And and here's the other part about that. I did a video it was just like it was part of a bigger video, but I just took this little piece, like episode 1 or 2 or 3, one of the first few episodes I ever did, and I did this little rant on Scientology and ufology and how ufology is looked at as like a religion from people from the outside, and which is a true statement. When people look from the outside at us in ufology, they look at us like we're in a cult like Scientology. They do. And when you're inviting people in to take part of what we're doing here in ufology, they look at it as you're trying to bring them into a religion. That's really how they look at it, you know. And the thing is that there is a part of ufology that is like Scientology, that is like religious, but it's more on the extreme side, just like with anything else. There is a cult-like mentality in ufology. And you see that with certain shows where there is really like cults that are behind this one person, and they just, you know, it's cult stuff. Like, you can't tell them anything different. If it isn't coming from that person, they don't want to hear. And I could probably name a few people, man, where the cult mentality is there. I'm probably sure you guys know of people in ufology that portray themselves that way, all knowing, all seeing. There's, I'll just say it because a lot of people say it anyway. Billy Carson, right? Cult following.
Thank you. Oh my God. Can someone
following.
please praise Rob
Cult
right
following.
now for that?
Now, here's the thing. I was a part of a show that, like, I met Billy, and I was sort of working with Billy through another channel that was dealing directly with Billy, and that's how I met Billy. And I will tell you that the atmosphere that I was in. What you say, Magneticus?
I said, I wonder if we have a common thread.
I have no idea.
Yeah, Magneticus. Look. I'm sitting here talking to everybody else, because everybody else with Magneticus knows exactly what I'm talking about. Now we'll just leave it at that. Magneticus knows the players involved and knows exactly what I'm talking about. But with that being said, I realized and I saw that there was a cult mentality. Like, I looked around and was like, dude, this is a cult, dude. Like, what they're doing here, like the ideals that they're pushing and the way that they go about
We're
their
all
business. Like, this is cult stuff, dude. And I can't be a part of this. You know what I mean? And that's kind of, you know, there are various reasons, but one of the reasons why I kind of step and stay away from that crowd, because it's exactly what that is. But, you know, with that being said, that's just one example of other cults that are in ufology, man. And the thing is that the people on the outside see those people and they assume that we're all in a cult. You know what I mean? That's what they really look at it like that. And that's why when Lou Elizondo came out and said, let's blow up ufology, that's why I didn't have a problem with them saying that, because I'm like, the word ufology ties us into the cult side of ufology, whether you know it or not, whether you realize it or not. This name, this label really ties us into that, and it makes it appear like we're all part of that cult mentality, but we're not. There's people on the inside know there's separate, like, there's people that are middle of the road, they kind of have open minds. Then there is a side that just believes everything, period, just to believe it. There is, we know that, but they think we're all like that. So my whole thing was like, man, we can leave those believers like that with the name ufology. They can have that, and then we kind of separate ourselves from that and push something else, something more along the lines of humanity. But I had made a point back then that Scientology and ufology are more similar than you even understand. Like, it really is. And it's sad because we're a part of it, and you know, it's kind of just something that I would like to separate from. But There's Deb from Sac. Some cults suck you into their environment and warmly
Oh
welcome.
man.
That's
If anyone
that's the
understands what you're
motto.
saying right now, it's Deb from Sac for
Yeah,
sure.
that's exactly why I went to her
Yeah,
comment, because I already
yeah.
know she came from
Deb
something
already
like that
knows.
too. And she knows, and she's speaking the truth right here.
Yeah, she speaks the
Cults
truth.
suck you into environment, warmly welcome you, and if you perceive as disloyal, they accuse you, block you, exile you.
Boom.
Exactly, because they make their believers seem like the people from the outside won't, will hurt them, or like you're safe here, and um and want to take command of the want to lead the flock, like she's saying here. This is how they control their flock, through the fear of exile. Exactly. I mean, there, and you dealt with one of the ones that are to give you found you a bad name as far as that goes, and I did too, and
Dealt with two of the two.
we have to kind of separate from that, unfortunately. I mean, I don't know how we just do it without breaking away from it. You can't push them out because they're here to stay, unfortunately. And cult-minded people, it's really hard to get them to snap out of that. So there's gonna always be that problem, unfortunately. And yeah, but that's kind of leading back to the Scientology. Those things are close, and I'll make some points about that too. But it's all sad, man. It's all sad when you can see a group of people that just believe and believe and believe and believing in the wrong thing, being led down the wrong path,
Yep.
being told the wrong things,
Yep.
and they just eat it up like it's dessert.
Well,
And
so I think this is the reason why I'm not trying to cut you off,
yeah, you're
Rob,
good. Go ahead.
dude, because like you're literally dropping literally great information, because like I'm feeding off of this right now because you're literally on the same bandwidth as I am, because I go I see and I saw the other where I started from, so I'm not even going to mention the podcast, but then I got to you guys and I go, why are they plagiarizing outlets instead of doing their own research and then actually having an opinion? It's, you can literally
Mm-hmm.
be like, oh, I saw an article, and then but then they don't have an opinion afterwards. They just read off the article and then move on to the next, right? But like with you, Dave, and everyone on SOR, you guys actually have things to say, things to follow up with, opinions. And
Mm,
that's the one thing that bothered me. And you guys give credit to where you get your sources from. And
right.
I go, that bothers me so much sometimes, because I go, you know how many times I've been jacked for my music and never got credit for it?
Oh yeah.
So it's a little discouraging, but no, you guys do it so good, and I appreciate that. So
Yeah,
that's all I
man.
want to
You're
say.
speaking truth.
Yeah,
That's
you guys,
truth,
you guys,
man.
you guys have actually substance to add to it. It's not You're not just reiterating something you already read.
You're,
You actually have an opinion afterwards, and you have your own thoughts, and that's tough to do. And some people don't have that. They
yeah.
will just go on and be like, "Oh yeah," and it's like, "How do you know?" I got blocked from like 3 discords because I called out certain people. I'm not gonna name them. Certain people, because they don't. It makes me mad that they're literally verbatim copying other people's work. And
Yeah.
I go, you didn't. And then they try to accuse me of being mean. And I go, how am I being mean? I'm being truthful. But
No.
if
That's
I could just go there instead of listening to that, it's the same thing.
exactly.
So,
Exactly. And you
but
make a
you know
great
what? The
point.
real conversation, when it comes down to real conversations, it comes down to like, okay, so here's a story. We'll read it. Let's discuss it. But that's not what happens with them. It's just,
Right.
we're just going to copy and paste, tell you that it's our doing and our research, and then you don't even know about it.
Right.
And
Yeah,
but with you guys, that's what I love. You guys actually do
I
do
agree.
your
I agree,
research, and you
one,
guys
and
actually
I'm
do
glad
really
you
do
said
your
that
work.
too, because that's really what stands out. That's what stands out for. And I've had this conversation with other people too, because other people who I see the same things in, and this is what I always say. Like, it doesn't matter if Lou Elizondo has done 1,000 podcasts.
Yep.
He's never done 1,000. He's never done a podcast with me. You know what I mean? Or
Mm,
because and I'm not just speaking. I'm just gonna say me because I don't want to say other people's names. But
yes, I
I
feel
know
too.
I'm going to give it my perspective. So regardless on how many other interviews Lou Elizondo has done with other people, it's not going to be like the one that he does with me. And that's period. That's with any person and any person out there. And that's what I was saying to another person that does interviews as well. Like, they, don't worry about the they've given out all that information already, or they've said this 1,000 times. Like, they've never interviewed with you though. Like,
Yeah.
they've never seen this person deal with you in your way of questioning and your perspective that you're able to put in the conversation, which makes it totally different and totally unique. A totally unique situation. And there are only a handful of shows out there and hosts that use their own perspective. Some of them just carbon copy, just like you said, carbon
Yep.
copy questions, carbon copy responses, never any authentic, real, genuine input or responses. And that's what makes Spaced Out Radio different. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? That's why it's different here, because the people that conduct the interviews are able to put their own perspective into the questioning and elaborate more on things. And that's kind of what. So I'm glad you said that, because I agree,
Right.
and I see that in in everybody over here. So I just wanted to add that to what you were saying.
Of course. And then the one thing also is the fact that you guys allow people to also elaborate on the topics. And that's another big, huge thing. And you guys acknowledge the people that walk in. And I say, I always say the bigger you get, obviously we're going to dissipate, So I say take advantage of it. Join. If you have the time to talk to these people, like, do it, because at one point we're not going to be able to talk to you guys. You guys are going to get so popular that we're not going to be able to talk to you guys in the
No,
manner that we're
that
doing it
that'll
right now.
never be
So I go,
me. I'll tell you
let's
that.
just take advantage of it right now.
No, that'll never be me. That'll never, ever, ever, ever,
But it's
ever
not, to
be
me.
me.
It's not a bad thing. I go, that's
Oh,
part of
please,
it.
Rob.
No,
One day
I'll,
you might have 13,000 subscribers,
it
and you
don't
might have
matter.
somebody like me going, "Which
It
do you
don't
want?
matter.
$3 in membership fee, or you want to bombard me with paid advertisements? Take your pick." Yeah.
Look, man,
Paid
dedicated.
advertising.
Hey, I hear you too, man, and yeah, I see what you're putting down. But guess
Yeah,
what? That's
it
not
doesn't
me,
matter.
man. That's not
Oh,
me. I
I
don't.
know. I'm
I'm not
just,
saying it's you.
but
Yeah,
you realize that was what that remark was about in that live stream that night. Is I basically said, do you want me to give you $2.99 a month for a membership fee, or do you want to bombard me with AdSense ads where you're going to make a fraction of a cent from me watching these ads in a month's time? You know what I mean?
right.
And I was like, you need to pick which is greater. Is my $2.99 greater, or is the fraction of a cent in AdSense greater? You know what I mean?
That's true.
And
Yeah.
and I wasn't trying to be a jerk about it, but if I'm giving Dave Scott $5 a month to be a Patreon or whatever,
You don't see
I
no
don't expect to be
commercials.
I don't
Yeah.
expect to see commercials every 5-10 minutes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, somebody is like more focused on the money, and I'm just like, you got to remember what you started doing this for. You know what I mean?
Dude, you speaking the truth, man. I can't. You're speaking
And
the truth.
that's what my wife said. She was just like, she just doesn't like the person's new format and the rebranding and all that stuff going on, and and the
Mm.
formats has changed, and so it's like,
Mm.
kind of like Dave Scott has his format. He has his round robin of guests that he can have on. You know what I mean? So everybody gets a little turn. Sometimes he gets a whole bunch of you in at the end of the month, and y'all, talk about your different expertise, and so.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as somebody else, I know I got banished because I was probably going against the grain by saying, well, maybe they weren't using copper tools, and that's why you have the belief copper tools couldn't have been used to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because what if they're using clay pots and wire contraptions like I'm using? You know what I mean?
Definitely. I mean, that's
Man,
the thing that I was telling some of the SORs here because, like I said, I got banned from 3 different channels because I'm very outspoken, and it's because it bothers me when they treat each other badly. SOR has been the only, and you guys, to be honest, as well, dude. Dig, you as well. You have been the man, bro. You
appreciate it,
have,
Steph from
man.
Sac
yeah,
is
you have been, and I go.
I did
I've
not
been
know.
approached by them personally to disclose people who have talked crap about their channel on there and be like, we know you hang out with them, we know you talk to them, like they're using different names. What are their names? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not a rat, dude. Like,
Mm.
you know what I mean? And so they've come after me before, and so I've had to block them. And
It's
I go,
slimy.
no way, dude. Like, I'm not ratting people out. That's not the way
And
I roll.
it's
And I
slimy
said,
though.
you guys suck.
Like, what's the purpose? What's the why?
I have
Like,
no
what?
idea. I was like, why does it matter to you? And
Yeah,
and they have the little moderators too. Like the moderators that we have on SOR are very tame to what I've already experienced. They're very
yeah.
aggressive on, and when I say you guys, I feel like everyone knows what I'm talking about. But I go, eesh. I go, I got banned from so many of them, and I go, dude, I have no reason to believe that any of the people you guys are talking crap about have ill will. So if you guys want to back off just because you guys feel a certain way, I said I have not seen anything weird since I've been here, and I've only been here a year.
Right.
And so, like, if you guys want to continue that way, continue being insecure, man. I don't know why you guys focus on this kind of stuff. So, I mean, there's worse people
Yeah.
out there than the people that are actually showing you support. That's what I said.
It gets
So, if you're
nasty.
reaching out to me, that is fucking weird. And sorry for dropping the F bomb.
Nah, you're good, dude. That was perfectly placed. I mean, you needed that, man. And it's just real. It's real. It is so nasty out here, man. And it blows my mind. It's like, because this is, and not just here, but it Social Dig or just at Space Out Radio, but as a whole, like, what ufology is supposed to be, and that's why I go back to the blowing it up thing, because that part of it needs to be blown up too. Just the drama part of it. Like, dude, we're supposed to be coming together as humans, trying to forge a path for our future, for the future of humanity. Like, there is no time for any of the BS. There is no time for that.
Yeah.
None of that is going to help this mission. None of that. None of the top secret. None of that stuff is going to help where we're trying to go. It isn't. none of it. It all needs to be left behind. We just can't do it. We can't. You don't want to go forward with that. You can't go forward with that. You have to
Exactly.
shake it all off, and you have to
Yep.
leave it behind, and you have to move forward, and that's what you have to do. And
Exactly.
it's just so disturbing to me because when I first came into this field and I'm looking around, I'm looking through rose-colored glasses. I'm assuming that everyone in this field, period, is aligned with the way I look at it. Like this is for humanity. Like, man, this is a bunch of people. But then I started looking at it and realizing that no, that's not the case. Some people are only here for drama. Some
A
people
little,
are
yeah,
only
yeah,
here for drama. Some people are only here for ego inflation. Some people are only here to mislead. That's
yeah,
what I found out. And that's
yeah.
what blew my mind. And that's why when Lou Elizondo came out and said, let's blow up ufology, that's when I wasn't mad at him for saying that. When
Okay,
everybody else was pissed off and wanted to
okay.
cancel Lou for that statement, I was
Oh,
right
I
there
respect
like,
that.
dude, he is
Yeah.
actually correct on so many levels when it comes to, like, you guys don't see what he means. You're just thinking he's wanting to blow you up and blow up, the
I
whole
respect that. Yeah.
uncovering
All right.
UFOs. That's how a lot of people were looking at it. I'm like, no, no, no. You got to look deeper than that.
Yeah.
He's looking to blow up the toxic part of this community, and that still needs to be done. I'd still
Yeah.
agree with that statement to this day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I respect that a lot, actually, because you stand by what you believe in. I have made fun of Lou Elizondo since like last year, and only because he went against Mick West. And I'm sorry to everyone who's probably going to hate me for this, but he went against Mick West, and I didn't know who won. I go, ah. I said, don't bring those note cards and go, I know what, I'll show you later. But
yeah, you can
because it's
respect
like,
Mick West, man.
yeah, I look, I think Lou Elizondo, I don't think he's a fake. I don't think at all he's a fake. I think I think people need to follow him a little bit more. But at this point, it's like, how do you deny someone like that? Oh, you tower him. You tower him with more people. So the more people that come forward, the less he becomes like relevant. And
Right.
and I feel like that's what happened to him. And I go, what the, like, literally, he was like on top, and then all of a sudden, it just like, now where is he? So it that would be cool if you could get an interview with him. Holy cow,
With who? With Mick or Lou?
Lou.
Yeah, yeah, I would love it. I would love to
Yeah,
do
that would
that.
be super dope.
And actually, because he's having this, releasing the book, and I know he's
Oh,
going
the
on a
book,
press
yeah.
tour. So here's the thing about Lou. There's and back going off of what you said.
Hmm.
There's the good that Lou has done, and then there's unfortunately a little. I mean, it's been proven that he's involved in a little of the BS behind the scenes in the division of certain people, attacks on certain people. So I mean, he's done that too. So the thing with Lou is that because he had taken that route at one point in time, then he has created a list of places that he won't go. So even though and I'm hoping that he overlooks all that with this book tour that I know he's gonna do. He should want to be in every place that he could possibly be. So maybe he will. Maybe he'll change his way. But there was a certain point in time where he was siding with certain groups and promoting certain groups, and then literally bashing other groups as well. So he's played his part in that. I would love to interview him. I think it would be a great interview. I think
That would be dope.
it'd be
Yeah.
a different interview than he's probably ever done. But I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna ask him. It's
Yeah,
just
press
that
him.
there's hopefully his list is open because it wasn't before. His list was pretty short on the people he was willing to hang out with. And just to give you for an example, some of those guys are overseas, like in the UK. If you notice, a
Mhm.
lot of these people that are doing the rounds that you probably like to come in and do an interview are doing interviews with UK easily. Like these guys, it could be a small podcast and they're hopping on with those guys all day. But when it comes to doing that here in the US, they're not really lining up for that anymore. And it maybe has something to do with the whole drama situation and everything that happened over the last couple of years and, all the mud throwing that's still happening right now. So hopefully we can be looked at as a group that doesn't involve or get involved in those sort of things and then maybe
Right.
be able to pull them in. I know Dave has interviewed Lou and I know
Okay.
he has Lou's contact. So hopefully Lou does make the rounds and man, I would love to interview him. I would
Yeah,
definitely love to
yeah,
interview him.
yeah. No, 100%. And the fact that you just brought that up is one of the reasons I think I got canceled from like some of the podcasts because you know, to me, uh, man, like to me, I think you guys bring the heat, man. Like I really do. Like I, I would
Appreciate it,
never be
man.
able to handle a podcast like the way that you guys do it, and to interview people. so, so if you guys
Yeah,
can bring him in, that would be cool.
it's a
And so it would
dance.
be awesome.
It's a dance, man. It's a
And you just like
dance.
pull them in.
Cause you
But
can be, you
it's
can,
it's hard to pull stories from people, and
yeah,
it's one of the things that I had so much beef, and this is the reason why I got literally canceled and disowned by one of the podcast. I'm not going to mention it, but they literally got mad at me because I go, how is this person going to be asking personal questions? But when you ask them, how did you get into the paranormal? And they don't want to answer that question. I'm like, but you ask everyone that every single week, 5 times a week.
right,
And then you don't want to answer that yourself. And I'm asking you, as someone that's not a podcaster, but we're just on Discord, just talking with everyone in a live chat. And I go, so you don't want to talk about your first experience and how you got into the paranormal or UFOs? And I could say it. I could say the name, and then everyone's gonna fucking flare. But I go, okay, cool. So you're a hypocrite, and I said that,
right,
and then immediately when I said hypocrite, I got blocked, and it wasn't by the person. It wasn't by anyone that was my friend. It was by people that had their back, that didn't know me, didn't know that they knew me. I just got blocked. And so I can't say anything anymore because I called them out on it. I was like, you literally ask people every day about their personal experience. And when someone asks you about your personal experience, you shut down. How's that fair? I said, as someone who's an investigator. That
hmm,
doesn't make any sense to me. If you, I'm very open. I'm always open. Like I'm very open. I will, if you ask me anything, I will tell you anything. I'm
right,
not someone that hides things. And for some reason, I feel you won't hide anything. A lot of the people on SOR won't hide anything. It's just bringing the confidence out of them.
exactly,
And with that, I go, oh, I struck a nerve because now they're protecting this person because I put them on the spot. They didn't really put
Mm.
them on the spot, but you put everyone on the spot every week. So, what is the
Yeah,
way? The first thing you ask is, how did you get into the paranormal?
exactly.
So,
Exactly.
and so I did the same thing, and it was it hit it hit a nerve, and I go, come on, man.
But it's ridiculous. But that means they don't have a real story to tell. That means they're probably grifting. That means they're probably not
No,
true
I
with
heard
what
their
it is that they're
story.
saying.
I heard their story, and the fact that they don't want to share it, it's like a disservice. My favorite taco, Brown Dwarf Street, just
Boom.
regular carne asada, cilantro, and
Yes,
onion.
sir.
That's
Sound
it.
good to me, man.
It's a
That's
standard taco.
look, look, and we got taco trucks on every block out here where I live in Bakersfield. We got pop-up stands, and I'm talking about every single corner out here. So, man, I just all I do is go around and try different
Yes.
outlets, man, all the time, man. Get my buche tacos,
Oh,
man.
I gotta
I'm
have one of
telling you,
those.
it goes down out here. One, it goes
Mm-hmm.
down. El Pastor, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I got, I mean, it's little, I mean, it's no joke. I moved here from Sacramento, and in Sacramento, it's more regulated as far as you can't just have a pop up stand without a permit or something along like in Sacramento. If you have a stand up, they're the guaranteed the police coming to check you out for sure. Like it's guaranteed. It's just a matter of when they do it. They for sure are gonna come for sure. Out here, nah. Out here, they don't do that. Like half of the stands that I see, I don't think probably have permits, truthfully. But they got the best food that you ever tasted. And the police just drive right on by out here. They don't even stop and question or ask or do anything at all. And I love it. It's lovely because you can just do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly,
yeah,
Brown Door. I'm essentially in Mexico right now. True facts.
yeah. True facts,
True
man.
facts. It is so much like I don't think you could be any closer to the experience than being where I'm at right now. It goes down out
Yeah.
here.
Hey, and two, shout out Love Be Love. Yeah, Brazilian beef tacos. I've had those too. Those are delicious as well. I didn't even know
Definitely.
Brazilians make tacos. I thought it was just Mexicans.
Yeah, police just coming up to get a taco, Brown Door. That's you true fact. True
Yeah,
fact. This
yeah,
would not work in Sacramento. They shut every. I was like, dude. I was like, I might open up a pop up stand out here. Then, man, why not? Let me
yeah.
go on and get out here, man, with everybody else and put up a pop up stand, man. I could work a little bit in the kitchen, man. Let's do it.
That'd be dope. No,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
There was someone who asked a question that was actually pretty
Yeah.
interesting. Let
Coming
me scroll
soon.
up. Oh yeah,
You do a fish taco truck. A fish taco truck and say Freddy's fish got fingered.
Oh, I had an idea about the tacos, the type of
my goodness.
tacos I would do, but I can't remember. I gotta remember. It
Alien
was
tacos.
nah. It was like a blend. It was a blend of just true Mexican style tacos
Oh,
with
like Greyhound and
something else
Chihuahua.
though. No,
We,
no, it
we,
was
we, we don't cook
man.
dogs.
It
We don't
just
cook
slipped my
dogs.
mind. I had I had the name for it and everything. I had it all lined up, but I got to think about it. It says, yeah, Sacktown is tight there from Sack. Psst, please. Like, yeah, like the police out here are so they don't do anything out here. I mean, they go to the little calls and stuff, but aside from that, like in Sacramento, you couldn't stand on the center divider in Panhandle. The police drive right past that person. Sacramento, they immediately are going to get that guy out the corner.
Man,
Homeless.
Rob, if you ever come up to this neighborhood and visit me, I'm taking you out for teriyaki.
Where you at?
I'm gonna take you out for teriyaki, and then after you eat, I'm gonna point to the pet store next door.
Dude, so you
That's
say, hey, well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. So everything is a pet somewhere. So if you like beef, beef is a pet in India.
All I'll say is cats taste like chicken and dogs taste like pork. That's all I'm gonna say.
You know what? Unless we get DNA testing, you can't prove it. And if it tastes delicious,
You're gonna enjoy it. That's right.
Exactly.
That's what I said. I'm gonna take you to the best teriyaki you ever had in your life. So
you in Washington, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have to do that, man.
Both in
We're gonna have to do
Washington.
that.
Why are you so loud?
Because I hold on. I was walking around. There you go. Now I shouldn't be so loud.
Go a little bit more.
A little bit more. Great. As I close the window.
Right there.
Sacramento
Right
can
there.
be for sure. Yeah.
Here we go. I think we're all equal.
Yeah.
I can't go much
It's
lower
no
than
doubt.
Oh, go a little bit more.
More lower?
No, up.
Oh, I was gonna say it because I can't go much lower.
No, it's up.
Maggie and Tim says taco pizza.
No.
Try 43.
Right there.
How's 43
right
sound?
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
But pizza, look.
At this point, my uncle's gonna break
Green
in.
olives on pizza.
Maggie M10, what you gotta try on the pizza?
Green
you
olives.
gotta try thin crust. Try just order it one day or half or something like that. Thin crust barbecue pizza, barbecue chicken pizza. Gotta try it. It is amazing.
It is amazing, actually.
It is
what's good?
amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Pizza with Alfredo sauce, chicken, and bacon.
Yeah,
That's a good pizza right there.
Man.
Yeah, that's my girlfriend's
I don't know about those weirdos that like pineapple on pizza. They're just weird.
Yeah, I like pineapple on pizza.
You're on that boat, woman. You're a weirdo too.
Me too? Okay.
This magnetic significant other.
Pizza is a weirdo in my book.
And Magneticus, we're gonna have to talk, man. I'm gonna have to tell you some more of that information, man, that you probably ain't privy to, man. You may actually already blow my mind and already know this though, man, about your guy. I found some stuff out recently that was pretty shocking, man. I was like, whoa, but then it all made sense. It all clicked, dude. So I'll do.
Okay. Yeah. You got my number.
I'll send you. Yeah, I have it. I'm
got
gonna
my
send
email
you.
too.
I'm gonna send you. Yeah, I do. So I'm gonna send you something after the show, something to occupy your time, man. And I want you to let me know what you think about it as well.
I think I blew Coley's mind. I think I blew her mind. I sent her a few text messages and she just went silent. I think I blew her mind. She was like, "Can you help me with somebody's homework?" And I'm like, "Oh, go figure." I almost gave her a nickname because of that one, because I got this other girl that always calls me when she needs help with homework. It's like, "Can you help me with my chemistry homework?
Though?
Can you help me with my physics homework?
Like, can you
help
me
with my children's
build
homework?
A time machine? That's what I want to know. Can you help me build a freaking
What do you want me to do? Build you a watch?"
No, there you go. Yeah. He's a comedian too. Yeah, he's a genius and a comedian. You're a comedic genius.
Oh, I remember this one kid. He was like, he was like, "You have to be really smart to understand your jokes, don't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it helps a little bit." Because sometimes I'd be joking, but sometimes it's not like funny haha joke. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. You know what I mean?
I do open mics.
That guy that made Bud Light famous, or maybe it was a gal. I'm not sure what it is that made Bud Light famous not too long ago. And I pointed out, I said, "Did you realize that if you freeze those cans with nothing but air in them and then seal them with cold air, You know what happens when you heat those cans up to room temperature? When you open those cans, they go.
Exactly.
So,
You know what's
so,
funny?
so on camera, you're carrying 6 12-ounce cans, but in reality, you're carrying like 6 ounces of aluminum full of hot air is what you're carrying, and it's not that impressive. You know, a girl carrying 6 glasses full of beer, that was impressive. Somebody carrying 6 empty cans of hot air wasn't impressive. Just so you know.
Did time already go back?
Oh, yeah, maybe. It's like 1:22 on my clock.
Yeah, so it seems like it did because we're at 3 hours.
We just did the time warp.
No, actually, it hasn't because we started
it's not.
this. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it has. Because it would be 2:15 right now, roughly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you
yeah,
started. Yeah, we should be.
yeah.
We did
Yeah,
the time warp.
1:22.
There's your
We
time
gained
machine.
an hour.
What?
We jumped
CS,
through
we
time.
gained an hour.
We jumped through time.
We did. We warped through time. Said,
government
let's do
made-
the time warp again. We just did. Oh my god.
Did we warp?
It's been 121
yeah.
twice.
No,
today.
I think it's funny that
Yeah, do the math, brother Magneticus.
because he's in this. He's like literally lives probably like next door to me.
No, if you're in
Right.
Capitol here, you're, I don't know, 45 minutes, an hour away from me.
Yeah, no, but I mean we're still in the same state.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I enjoy. I was talking to my girlfriend and I was like, hey, "There's a guy on here that's really smart," and I go, "He's like a freaking genius." And I was gonna jump on there. I was gonna bring my girlfriend on, but she's like, "I don't want to talk," and I was like, "No, what?" And then I go, "Oh, man, someone else is on."
That's funny, man.
You know, and you know, I missed the last couple of days, or like the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, you've been chilling, man. You've been chilling, living, man.
I have
Living
not
life,
been
man.
chilling. That's for sure.
Living,
I have
living.
not been chilling.
I have weird sleeping patterns, so I never know if I'm going to be up or not.
But
earlier, so I
no,
didn't
I'm
think I was-
glad that you guys brought this topic up. I mean, Rob Gee, I mean, the GOAT. I'm gonna keep calling you and Dave and Jessica Jones the GOATs. SOR the GOATs. Because I
I'm
know
gonna
it
keep
pisses
calling you the
everyone off.
GOAT too, man.
And it's not that I don't believe that you guys are GOATs. I think you guys are the GOATs. And I just go, now I got so much heat on my back because of what I said to other people. And the only
Hey,
person
Juan, does
that
that
knows
make you a man who
are
stares at
two
ghosts?
people. I was like Deb from SAC and like one other person. I'm not gonna reveal her name, but I'm gonna drop Deb's name because you know she has my back and I have hers. They're not gonna. Can you believe that people who have more credibility in the street? That's what I say. It's not literally street. Come after someone that they don't even know. I have no credibility, man. No credibility at all. Nothing.
How you
I have
feel like
nothing to
that?
offer. And they come after me and go, "Do you know this person?" Like I'm like, what? The FBI is coming after me, and you're like, I'm really gonna give someone. I know who she is. I know what name she's using, but screw you. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm not giving up her name.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know, like I'm loyal. I'm so freaking loyal. Like loyalty over honesty.
Yeah, I mean,
The
loyalty
FBI
matters,
comes
man.
on my door asking me if you,
Loyalty
I'm
over
like,
honesty,
everything.
man. And so, like, when they came after me, I'm like, you guys are fucking losers, man. You guys are already making bank. Why the fuck are you, like, giving a shit about nothing? Like, and coming after me, who has nothing to do with anything that's going on with you. And they're like, oh, well, like, they're like the patrol police. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. Get over it. Grow up. You guys are, like, about to die. So shut
Derek,
up.
Derek Galloway asks, your thoughts on why they originally did daylight savings time? Why just didn't have one time zone?
Yeah. Dude, everyone already knows probably who it is. I feel bad, and I don't even care. I'm already canceled by them, so it's like it doesn't matter to me. But I'm not gonna drop names. But I'm not gonna drop. Deb has been one of my favorite people,
Yeah,
and
I
I have
love Deb.
no
Deb,
reason
yeah,
to ever drop her in a bad name.
yeah.
So like, Deb, if you're hearing me,
Oh,
you're my
she's
homie.
hearing you, buddy. She's hearing you.
Yeah,
She's right
because
there in the chat.
like they came
And
after
and
me
it's
over her,
and
and
it's
they
for
can suck
me.
it.
It's love to everybody, man.
Suck it.
I'm putting out love to each and every one of you guys out there right now, and just accept it. You know what I'm saying? Just accept it and spread it. That's all
Yeah,
I
like
ask.
what
Accept
bitter
it, spread
people.
it, and make this world a better place.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I like SOR more than everyone else. And then
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
once they
yeah.
lost,
Because
I was like, screw
nobody
you guys,
cares
dude.
about
We're
that,
not coming
man.
back.
There's
We're not coming
on
back.
these shows. I've been in, just like I was in SOR's chat. I've been
Mm-hmm.
in all chats, and I can tell you for sure, just myself, that these shows don't care about people getting along or people caring for you. They don't really care about that. People just care about their algorithm and
And
their
that's the first thing that they drop, right?
monetization and their super chats and things like that, which really don't equate
Hold on, let me
to
do it.
or help out at all in this field.
Let me do it. Smash that like button so it can help the algorithm and help the YouTube algorithm.
Come on, guys, smash that like. You gotta say, come on, guys, smash that like. That's
Anybody
right.
else having trouble with that super chat button like me? I can't get my super chat to work. Anybody having a problem with that?
Oh my God, Magneticus,
Yeah,
you
who
are
started that one? Who started
dude.
that one? Yeah.
Magneticus.
can't.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what. I would tune in and be in the back. I'd be lurking, and then I would hear that, and I'd just be all cringy, like, oh man, I can't believe. Oh, you're
Come on
really
now,
gonna,
I do that. I do that all the time if I'm trying to get people to super chat to somebody.
you're gonna do that.
And it amazes me how many people will super chat just to see if that super chat isn't working like I claim it's not working, even though I'm fully aware it'd work if I just put in an amount over $1, That's all I got to do. I can't do 99 cents because if I do 99 cents, it's like, nope, don't work. I got to put in $1. I put in that one extra penny, that super chat will go through just fine.
Exactly. Exactly, and that's where people who
Milk
ask for
biscuits, fresh
when you
today.
when you ask for super chats and things like that. Hey, there's a line, right?
You got it.
Because there's on
Deb,
some
you're my favorite.
there's a business that the bills have to be paid, like subscriptions and things like that have to be paid. So okay, you ask for super chats, but there's people that beg for super chats. They call it e-begging, right? And there's just a lot of channels in ufology that do that. That just e-beg. They come on stream just to beg, and like obviously my channel isn't monetized at this moment, but that doesn't mean that I'm not. Even if it was, I wouldn't be sitting here for 4 hours or 3 hours asking people for for any
$1.
money. Yeah, I wouldn't
Send
be doing
$1.
that. I wouldn't be doing that. I just think that's so whack. First of all, if you appreciate what's being done and you do something on your own volition, then I can't stop that from happening. But I'm not gonna sit up and beg you for money, man. I just that's not what I'm doing this for. That's not why. This is more important than that. I had no intention or idea of doing anything like that with this channel, and this has just been about exactly what it says on the screen, just progressing humanity And I'm happy with that. You know what I mean? I'm happy with people understanding and being enlightened and moving in that right direction, man, and
You
spreading the
telling Mike
word and
also.
stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Hey, Rob, I'd sell you a copy of my big book of numbers, but I already gave it away to everybody for free.
Okay. Was that another one over my head? Wait a minute. Let me think
That was a
about that right
joke.
now.
I said I would sell you a copy of my book if I didn't already give it away for free.
Oh, okay. Got you. Got you, man. No,
I
because you hit me with
literally.
a joke, and I was in a, I
I
was in
know
a,
it's
I
so
was in like a
specific.
deep moment mode for a minute there, man.
I mean, think about it.
He was really
I
going
sent you
for
like
it
a whole
too.
chapter of my book, free of charge. And I was like, I'd send you the other 270 files if you wanted,
Right,
but I'm not going to print it out for you. I'm not going to
right,
Oh
print it out
man.
for you. And I'm not going to show
Hey,
you what it looks like when it's all, sitting there on the floor, you know.
Rob, Rob,
right.
Rob.
Yes, sir.
I I hope you understand that literally everyone that's watching right now. I don't speak for them, but I'll speak for myself. But I feel like we all really appreciate you being here, man.
Man, hey, that's why I show up, man, because I feel the love, man. I feel the love,
Yeah, for sure, man.
and I
Like,
do appreciate the love too, man. And I
I mean,
want
I
and
wouldn't even like the fact that when you said I wanted, I'm not scared to say names, but in to preserve the integrity of you and everyone in SOR, like I can't say anything, right?
sure,
That's the only reason why I don't say anything.
sure,
But they know, and they keep eye on me because I've already left, and the information they try to pry out of me, I'm like, dude, I'm no one. Like, why are you trying to do this to me? And like, leave them alone. Come after me if you want.
oh
And
man,
like, with Deb, sorry, Deb, I'm dropping you. I'm sorry, I'm dropping you under the spot. But I've always had your back, and they hated that. They
right,
hated the fact that I had Deb's back. Every single person hated the fact that I had her back, and I go, nope, you're not gonna have, you're not gonna change my mind on her.
exactly,
She
exactly.
she she's 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 one of my people, and I'm not turning my back on her. So like, go somewhere else. I don't know why you even focus on this shit. So like, I really told
Yeah,
them to f off.
that's the
And
troubling
it's like,
part.
you guys don't have any business here then. And they do keep like they keep different profiles, and they monitor me. They really do monitor people, not just me but other people. And then all of a sudden, like, I got one friend, and I
Hey,
go, okay, cool. That doesn't bother me. I mean, I didn't come here, but you know how many friends I made? I made all you guys. So
exactly.
so
And there's so
it's a
many
win
more
for
to
me.
make that
But
are
I'm
like
always going to protect
minded.
SOR because no one in SOR has treated me bad. Everyone on the other side, though, has,
Yeah.
over jealousy, agendas,
And just
being
just because
weird.
they're
I just
nasty
don't
spirited
understand.
people, man. Some people are just miserable people, and they want to make other people miserable.
Yeah,
Also, misery loves company. That is such a
exactly.
true statement, and it's a poison. Someone can see you having a great day and want to instill misery on you because you are smiling and enjoying yourself and being happy in what it is that you're doing. There's people that literally walk around with that much hate in their heart that they want to give it and spread it to someone else. This just having a great day, and I'll never
Right.
understand that. That's one of the evils in this world, and I try to stay away from that. And that type of energy is not anything that I want to be a part of. because the energy that you put out in the world is the energy you get back. It's proven. It's pretty much proven fact.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
to go, they teach you, and I've always said this, they teach you the golden rule in kindergarten: treat others the way you want to be treated,
Yep.
and that's really one of the truest statements that you could, be given to learn at an early age, and that's the way you should live. That's the way you should, approach everything. Put that good energy out there. Hope you get it back. Sometimes you won't. Sometimes you'll still get some negative energy back, but that's just a lost soul. That's a person that doesn't get it, and you'll be okay. You just take the high road and you move on, and you just
Exactly.
keep putting that energy out there because, man,
Yeah,
it
and
it really works.
since then, like I said, like I'm gonna always have all you guys back, all of you,
Exactly.
all of you that are in the chat right now. I will always have your back, and
Exactly.
because you guys have had my back,
Yeah.
you guys have
And
never said
look,
anything mean to me. I mean, you guys make jokes about it, but you know what?
yeah, jokes
It's
is
okay.
jokes.
I don't care if you guys make jokes about me. That's welcome. But like you guys, and especially you, Rob, like
Smash
you have
Button Music.
welcome platform where we can all just share,
That's what it's all about. Exactly what we're
and
doing.
share each other's stories and stuff. And I go, when they try to interfere with that, and then I'm the first. Maybe I don't know if I'm the first person. I mean, someone can else come in and say it, but I go, nope. Like I, and they get frustrated, and I go, I'm not I'm not that person. I'm not that person. When I see there's something wrong, and you already said it. You already said it with one person's name, and I already had a problem with him. And
Mm.
so I go, okay, so and then I had a problem with the second person. And I go, oh man. So I go, okay, so let's just move it forward and ignore them because they have their way. Go your way. Like leave us alone. Why do you have to come in and like try to infiltrate? That's what I see it as. And
Yeah.
like you go and do your stuff and like leave us
Can I
alone.
answer Derek's question?
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Derek, if you're me and a teenager and walking through the woods and all of a sudden you start smelling this pleasant odor and you're like, something smells good. So you decide that you'd be like the toucan in the advertisements of childhood cartoons and you start following your nose to this odor. And as you keep going, the odor keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger until all of a sudden there's a pile of 30 dead bodies, all skinned. Now, how does somebody not notice a pile of 30 dogs piled up, all skinned? Because nobody's looking. That's why nobody finds them. If you're not looking in
Mm.
the right place, you're not going to find it.
Yeah.
And the only reason I never talked about it is because I think I knew the poacher that was killing all the dogs. So, and just collecting the bounty. And that's when I always make jokes about a man named Sue talking about buffalo. I think I was talking about buffalo earlier because somebody said something about getting bit by a buffalo or something.
The
The
bison, yeah.
Yeah, bison, buffalo, same difference. Same difference. Can't find any wild ones because they're all caged in. But
Hmm.
I know what
anyways,
you're saying.
I would tell people that in the cowboy and Indian movies back in the day, the white man always feared being scalped by the Indians, right? And nobody really went into the details of why the white man feared being scalped by the Indians. Well, you got to remember the Native Americans watched the white man come into the land, kill the buffalo off, and do nothing but take a little fur off the animal and leave the rest of the body to rot on the prairie. So they took up the habit of just taking a little fur and leaving the rest of the animal to rot on the prairie.
Right. Right.
A little dark humor there, you know. If you don't get
It's
it, you'll get it
okay.
later.
And we like dark humor, man. It's like
You
sadistic
know,
dark humor. It's all good. But what we're
you
gonna
know.
do, we're gonna leave it off right there. And we're gonna go ahead
It's
and
like
wrap it up, and then that
half hour.
we'll just finish this conversation tomorrow after the after hours. So what I'm gonna do, and you guys can stay up here if you want to. I'm just gonna wrap up the show. Um,
All right, man. Thank you for having us, man.
Man, anytime, Juan, you already know, dude. You were the one of the first ones hopping in there anytime you feel like it, dude. Anytime. And if
Was
you
that
don't
one?
feel like it that night, hang out in the chat. It's all good, man. But it's always
Of course.
positive. It's always good information when you
Yeah,
come
man.
in. Same thing with
Dude,
you, Magneticus.
thank you.
You know
Right.
I got love for you guys, man. And Magneticus, man. Dude, I'm gonna send you something that's gonna blow your mind. I just want to see what you think. Okay, I want to see what
Right.
you think about it, and then kind of just let me
Well,
know. Let me know what you
well,
think.
just conversations of the night. There was like things that kind of flagged my
Just
attention
gotta
right
go
away.
for it, dude.
And one of the things was, I'm not gonna
Go for
lie,
it.
is if I go on Google and I type in Billy Carson into the search and click search, I literally have to go through 6 pages of sponsored ads
Bro,
before I
dude,
can find anything
does anyone
that
have a
wasn't paid
shotgun?
for to be there. 6
Yee.
pages.
Okay.
6 pages of sponsored ads. You know, I mean, it's like it'll say on Google, you know, that this listing was sponsored, which means somebody paid money to make sure that that listing was boom right at the top of the Google search.
Exactly.
You can
Yep.
pay money to get there. Trust me. I
Oh
can,
yeah.
you know, trust me. I could, with a little bit of money, I could buy the domain of the Chum Bucket,
Did
and
not
I could
get
make
me
an email account called Karen, and I could email people with Karen at the Chum Bucket.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And with a little
Exactly.
bit more money, I can make sure every time you type in Chum Bucket, boom, I'm right up at the top of the list, you know? So it is what it
Exactly.
is.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're all good. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow.
All right, man.
Same
See you
time,
tomorrow.
same place. We'll be at
Yep,
the
yep.
after hours with Nancy Thames. Actually, from our chat, Nancy Thames will be the guest tomorrow
lost.
on After Hours.
You
Yeah,
lost?
so yeah, Nancy is gonna be on the show, so we'll get to meet her and see what's going on with her, and then
Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow too.
We'll meet up right here, right afterwards, and have a real conversation. You
Hey,
guys have a good rest of the night,
Rob.
man.
Good night.
Hey, man, thank you for allowing me after being sick on here, man. Thank you.
Dude, you come on, man. Stop. Dude, that's why I told you, man, we all been, man, come on, Juan. It's all good, bro. It's family. It's family. It's family.
Dude, it was a good conversation, actually.
It was. It was definitely good. Yeah, but yeah, never nothing to worry about on that tip, Juan. You're good.
Hey, man, I appreciate you a lot, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate you too, man. Like I said, you're the GOAT, dude. You're the GOAT.
No, you're the GOAT. What do you mean? I'm
Nah,
not the GOAT.
man.
You're
You're
the
the
GOAT.
GOAT, Juan.
No,
You're
I
the
am not the
GOAT.
GOAT. You're the GOAT. I'm all
Here
taco.
go, there go, everywhere go, go.
Exactly. All right, fellas.
Hey, salute.
Yep. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, man.
Until later today.
Later.
Wait, so how does this end?
All right. Great conversations once again. My camera is out, so I won't be able to come back up on screen, but I don't really need to because it's all about what's on the screen right now, which is positive progression in humanity, which is why we do what we do here at Social Dig each and every time. Go back in the history of the show. Go back to the beginning. Actually, just hit about a year on my channel, and I went back and looked at the welcome video, the episode number 0 video, and it's a 3-minute video where I talk about the mission of this channel. And if you watch that, you will see that mission is still true to this day. Every word that was said in episode 0 welcome video is exactly what you see this channel doing right now, which is pushing for the positive progression of humanity. Every episode has been aligned with that. You can go back into history and check that. That is our 100% focus and goal. And you know, I love being over at Spaced Out Radio because I get to sprinkle some of that there as well. And yeah, I think people appreciate it. You know, we had a great guest tonight, Brad Olson. It was a pleasure. I love his aspect on humanity. You know, that's what we talk here. So it was great. It was great. And I think we'll have another great time tomorrow night with Nancy Thames. And it's going to be more of the same. So I hope to see all you guys there. There are so many people in the chat that it's hard for me to go back and say thank you. But I'm going to say thank you to everybody at one time, because each and every person here who came to hang out and add to the conversation has been helpful, and you guys are all the GOATs out there, just truthfully. And we're gonna keep pushing. We're gonna keep doing this thing. We're gonna keep spreading positive vibes. We're gonna keep, you know, loving each other, man, and we don't have time for hate. You know, they say you use more muscles to frown in your face than you do to smile. So why would you ever frown? Why would you ever frown? Why would you ever let somebody allow you to frown? Why would you ever let somebody bring you down? You know what I mean? Misery loves company. When you see it coming, run the other way, because they won't stop until they ruin your day. And I'm not trying to rhyme. It's just coming out like that right now. Sometimes you're on and sometimes you're on, you know? Poet didn't even know it. But actually I am a poet because I write music, so this is my first love. But yeah, enough with the rambling. We do this for positive progression humanity, always here at the Social Dig. Want to thank everybody for coming out. Thank you for showing your support. Thank you for staying up late. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your night. I'm your host, Mr. Rob G. Thanks for coming in. You guys all take care. See you tomorrow. After hours. Later.